Hey there, friendlies. How's up? I do hope my sound is working. Excuse me. And I hope that everyone's having a good night. Putting on the cans. Why am I putting on the cans? As I always say, so I look like a real live radio personality. So if the sound is good, then I will move that on to saying, hey there, friendlies. How's up? Welcome to the live stream where we talk about beer, we talk about blades, and we do generally talk about some bushcrafty stuff. Just gonna plug in my watch while we're at it. There we go. And since we are opening this thing up on this night of nights, I will also say that in the name of housekeeping, if you are in fact listening to us time shifted to tomorrow or next week or next month or next year, thanks for watching. Thanks for commenting down below. I love knowing that you people are out there casting your eye over at the live stream after the fact and dropping a few comments. I like it. I'm very happy about it. If at any point tonight you really love what's happening, then I invite you to drop me a smiley thumb. If at any point tonight you really kind of hate what's happening, that's okay. The frowny thumb works just as well. And if you would like to take a more active role in supporting the channel, as several on the side chat already have, then I invite you to check out the join button down there somewhere. Click on it. There are 2 tiers. It'll tell you what each of those tiers are and what you get for your hard-earned cash. So I'm going to see who's hanging with us and say hi to those who are here. Excuse me. Who's in the house? We had Marcus starting us off, saying happy Tuesday to everyone. He was a little early. He was dropping his notes on us there at 8:23. We had Kristen, who is a channel member. You know what that means. You know what that means. You guys are probably tired of hearing it, but I ain't tired of saying it. Personal hero. Hold on one little second. Okay, good to know. I just got a note from Russell. Who else do we have here? We have me saying we're about to get going. Canadian in the house. How's it going, Jerry? Russell has some show and tell for tonight. That's interesting. All right. Can't wait to see what that's all about. Hey, there's Linda. How's it going, Linda? I'm unable to scroll all of a sudden. Oh, there it's going. Okay, everyone's saying that the sound is good. Allô, LT Survival, comment ça va? C'est cool que tu es ici. Ça fait longtemps, monsieur. Comment ça va? We got, hey, look who's here. Peanut Trucker in the house. Nice to see you. Where are you tonight? Where are you tonight, buddy? Where are you? Kicking back. We got Grace in the house. Nice to see you. Oh, Sonora, Texas. All right. It must be warm down there. We got Whiskey Harbor showing up. How's it going? So Chris is in Texas. I'm up here. It was a beautiful day today, man. I think it might have hit 14 degrees. Stunning. Stunning. Winter is finally giving up the ghost, I think. Did I just mute myself? No, that doesn't work. Okay. You guys can still hear me, right? Let me know if I just accidentally muted myself. Hey, Ron and Kelly. Nice to see you. How's it going? How's the weather down over where you are on this fine evening? You hear that sound? I'm doing it as slowly as I can to draw it out. Little beer can ASMR for you there. So what do I got? This is an Ontario brew. This is Cup and Saucer English Ale from Manitoulin Brewing. 473 mils and 5% alcohol by volume. So it's a bog standard Canadian beer. I have to pour this uncomfortably close to my face so that it's even remotely in focus. Am I blowing the pour? Oh, looks like I might be. I think I'm blowing the pour, guys. That means that Sales is probably hanging out around here somewhere. I haven't completely destroyed it, but that's uncomfortably. That's too much head. Said no man ever. I'm gonna let that shrink a little bit and then pour the rest in. Hey, Robin in the house. Yes, I think it's a very pretty can, and in fact, I totally judge this beer by the can. I've never tasted it, but I like English ales, and all the writing on the can is absolutely marketing piffle. But it says handcrafted with no preservatives, Little Current, Manitoulin Island, Ontario. What does it say? At the northern tip of the Niagara escarpment rests a jagged outcrop flocked to by hikers and enthusiasts alike. Manitoulin Island is home to this natural wonder and proud of its namesake, the Cup and Saucer. A proud and robust beer, Cup and Saucer English ale is easy to drink and inspired by London's pub-style ale that has satisfied so many for generations come and gone. Raise a cup and cheers to friendship and good times ahead. The thing is, that's not useful. That's all just marketing garbage. It doesn't tell me anything about what it doesn't tell me anything about the malt, like the barley. It doesn't tell me anything about water, barley, malt, hops, yeast. But yeah, so I guess that's an image of the Cup and Saucer. And I'm hoping it's as tasty as the can is pretty. Yeah? So, who else? Lord Vader in the house. How's it going, mister? LT says, been busy working with my father passing in January. Wasn't available and too tired to join the live. Oh yeah, that's not good news. Sorry to hear that. Sorry to hear that, mister. But yeah, it's understandable. Destiny's in the house. Nice to see you. Everyone's saying hi to Destiny. Okay, so hold on. Destiny's asking Russell, please no Buttman for show and tell tonight, Mr. Dangler. Hi, good Mike in the house. How's it going, Mike? Nice to see you. Okay, so let's give this Let's gifts this beer a little tasty taste. Oh, it smells like beer. It smells malty, not too hoppy, which is the way I like it. That's why I like ales. It is bitter, but more like an English bitter, an English style bitter, and it's not too much in that wheelhouse. There's also some sweet caramel, kind of molassesy notes. Light though, definitely more of a malty thing than a hoppy thing. I like it. I like it. Hey, look who's here, Ian. Ian is here. How's it going, Ian? Mr. Weblord. Yeah, that's tasty. It's tasty. Excuse me. Anyone know if Al is hanging with us tonight? I'm trying to figure out which brew, which whiskey to open later. So what do I have to talk about tonight? I'm not sure, man. I kind of want to tell you guys about the epic that went on in my house since the ice storm kicked the crap out of the city, but that's probably only interesting to a couple of us. But it was definitely an experience. Not as bad as the one back in 1998, because that happened in the depths of the coldest part of the year, like February or something. Yeah, it was February, and some people lost power for weeks, and that was very dangerous. This was just more of an epic freaking nuisance. Russell, I'm going to ask you about the message you just sent me a little later, because I think I was late for your live stream that night due to things due to life just getting in the way. So maybe I'll ping you afterwards. Hold on a second. Destiny wants to know all about it. Robin says we made the most of it. Fallout. I love that series of games. I have this urge, Robin. You know this. Every now and again, I get this urge to play like the original Fallout or Fallout 2, and I'm like, okay, I'm reinstalling it. I'm booting this thing up, and I start, and like 20 minutes, and I'm like, okay, that's done. I did it. Which makes me sad because those are seminal games in my sort of gaming development or history. Because I'm very into a sort of post-apocalypse, a boy and his dog thing. That's my jam, man. I love that. Steve Metto, I just finished 3. I think that's liters of maple syrup. So, wow, nice. I like it. Hey, and look, there's Serge. I knew Serge was gonna be here because I blew the pour on the beer. Yeah, and Destiny knows exactly where I was going. Yeah, I'll just say like when the shift hit the fan, shall we say, on Wednesday. Okay, so some of you know that I lost my uncle last week. One of my 2 remaining uncles, very suddenly, and way too young, and so we went to Ottawa for a good old Irish wake on the Saturday, and my mother stayed for a few extra days to make sure that my aunt was doing okay. Well, you know what I'm saying. So she got on a train at 4:10 p.m. in Ottawa to come home on Wednesday when the storm came through and knocked everything to pieces. I didn't really know that she was coming home that day. What I did was I pinged my cousin, Sarah, to say, do you know when my mom's coming home? Because I wasn't sure what to do about Easter supper, right? And she said, well, she's on we dropped her on a train at 4:10. So I said, oh, okay, so she's coming home like now. All right, fine. Weather goes to hell. I decide to, it's pizza night. So I take my kids to, my daughter wanted to use a pizzeria that we haven't used before. It was closed. Most of that sort of main drag was closed, but there's a pizzeria that we've used a lot in the past, which was open with a long lineup inside. So we went in because it was the only restaurant open, essentially. Because I live on a major boulevard, and so it's usually lit up no matter what. Especially, we're also on like the same circuit as a small hospital, and so when you get to the corner, like a couple of buildings right on the corner are on our circuit. That pizzeria was one of those. We stood there for 2 hours waiting for 2 pizzas and a bag of chips. Okay, a bag of fries. And left grumpy with food, but grumpy because we had the 2 pizzas getting soggy in the boxes while the fries were taking another 45 minutes. So anyway, that happened. This is 2 blocks from my house. It took us like 28 minutes to get home because things had fallen and blocked the streets. So it was like going through this maze, and this maze that was pitch black. And so you don't necessarily see the power cable draped across the road until it suddenly shows up like right in front of your car in the headlights. So that was stressful, but we got home. We did get home. We opened up the pizza and we enjoyed it as well as we could and stuff. But like, I don't know, 7-ish, 7:30-ish, my cousin pings me and says, you seen your mom? Because we haven't heard back from her. She said she'd call when she got home. So I'm like, no. She got on a 4:10 train. Yeah, she got on a 4:10 train. I'm sure of it. She ran down to the train station in Ottawa to see if maybe my mom was still there. Maybe the train had been canceled. I checked the Via Rail website. There was like, here are the canceled trains. Here are the late trains. And this train wasn't listed on either of those for some reason. So I'm like, okay, well, maybe she's home. We have a voice over IP phone. So if the power goes out, we have no phone because that's an improvement over the old style phone, right? And my mother does this as well. So I ran over to see maybe she's at home sitting in the dark, no phone. This woman doesn't have a cell phone. She's probably sitting there wondering what to do. So I ran over. Took me forever to get in because I have a key to her condo, but not a key to the door in the foyer. Anyways, I finally got in, went into her house, opened it up. Mom, nothing, no one there. It's like, oh God, I hope she's not stuck in the elevator or something. Like, she didn't try to take the elevator up and the power went out. So I went down each floor. She was only on the third floor, coming out of the stairs and banging on the lift door, just see if I heard like help. Nothing. By this point, like, my cousin is like, she's spoken to Via. She went down to the station. Yes, everyone got on the train and it left. And she's discovered that you can trace your train, the Via Rail app or website or something. The website was crashing, so she sent me this screenshot. The train was not there yet. In fact, it wasn't even at the Dorval station yet. So, because I'd had all this. Okay, she's not home. Is she trapped in a metro somewhere? Because our metro system is electric. Actually, I guess most subways are. But anyways, I tell my cousin, okay, I'm going to the station. So I do the whole maze thing to get onto a major street. And again, like, I'm talking to my cousin and we're trying to plan, and I come around a corner and there's an electric wire. I'm like, okay, I got to get off the phone because I don't want to, cause a problem here. She's like, okay, let me know. So I drive downtown, and to get downtown, I have to pull onto this major highway called the Dakari Expressway. And the Dakari Expressway is pitch black because it's essentially a concrete trench. It's down, like, the houses are here and it's boom, it's a trench. And it's black, and I'm on-ramping, and an F-150 is going, like, I don't know why he was booting along above the speed limit in pitch black, but he was. And so I come on, and this guy, he just misses me by the length between my back tire and my back bumper, okay? So, anyways, he just misses me. I swore vociferously in both official languages, and got really shaky, but I was like, we're going to do this. So I got to the train station. I walked in, and the train isn't even there yet. It's not going to be arriving for like another 40 minutes. So I sit down, and the Via Rail people are walking around and passing out bottles of water because there are people who were waiting to get home in like Quebec City and Drummondville and all these places whose train wasn't there yet. And here's the thing. This train had been traveling at 29 kilometers an hour. Now, it's a 2.25 hour drive between Montreal and Ottawa if you're not like a speed freak, right? Because the whole system of those blinky lights and the gates that come up and down and the switches and everything, it's all electric. And so none of it was working. There was no light. There was nothing. And so they were going at like 30 clicks because there was no way to block people from trying to cross or know when the train is coming or any of this stuff. And at one point they stopped for a solid hour for some reason, and another train came by and they just hooked up to that one. I don't know what. But at 11:20, okay, the train has arrived and people are starting to come up, and I see my mother coming up looking in an absolute state. And then she looks up and I'm standing there, and this relief goes over her face because she wasn't expecting to be picked up or anything. And I was just like, hi, Mom. She was like, you would not believe. I'm like, I would believe. I absolutely believe. But then when I got into the car, he's like, by the way, you're coming to my place because there ain't no power at your place. And you don't have any like lights, like little camp lights or anything. I've bought her some since then, by the way. So she came and stayed at my place for a few days, until her power finally came back on I don't know, Saturday, Sunday. Well, sometime. Dude, the past 4 days have all turned into one blur. I know that we had my mother as a refugee. We had my sister-in-law over for a couple of days. And, our house only lost power for a very small amount of time. But what we did lose was internet. And these didn't work. we could send textos most of the time, but there was no data, and trying to call each other, forgot about it. But we had warmth, and we could cook food, and so we had people hanging with us for a while. One of Camille's little friends from school came over, for an overnighter. Just to use our shower and eat something hot. So that's kind of like that was the most dangerous driving I've ever done, and I had a really big event on my way when my wife was doing a job in another city called Sherbrooke. Well, yeah, I drove out with Camille, who was then like 4, to spend the weekend with her there, and that there was an event on that drive that was. But anyways, so that's it. We're sort of back to normal here. Some people still don't have their internet back. I was chairing a governing board meeting at for school just before this, and there were 2 or 3 people who just like, sorry, I can't be there. Videotron hasn't been here to reconnect us yet. So that's that. But we're all alive. A couple of people aren't. But we were fairly lucky in that respect. And so here I am, telling you guys stories about it instead of paying attention to who's saying hi in the side chat. I know some people that I know at work, for instance. Oh, on the Thursday, I had no internet, so I couldn't work. And our boss sent around the CEO sent an email around saying, "Look, we know that everyone's having a rough time. If you have no power or no internet, we're opening the company up to you and your families. I've ordered the bistro to make extra lunch, make some kids' meals, make some pastries. Just bring them in. It'll be family day." So I brought in, I packed up my mom and my kids, and we went into the office, and a lot of people on my team did the same thing. I still got some work done, but it was really cute to see all these kids in the office, But yeah, and some of my my friends at work have now bought generators. They bought them during the festivities. Yeah. So, anyways, that's been my happy Easter, right? I've totally destroyed our plans for Easter. The one thing that we did do was we had bought tickets to go to the Cabana Sucre. I can never remember what that is in English. Steve Mitchell, Cabana Sucre, Sugar Shack. So we did that, and they had power. I don't know if they were running on generators or what, but they had power. A lot of the Sugar Shacks did not, but the one we were going to did. So we had a killer Sugar Shacky meal. Took a little, horse-drawn buggy thing ride through the maple forest, and they had like a tiny mini farm that was really just some indoor pens with like some sheep, a llama, bunch of chickens, and a couple of goats. Yeah, so that's it's a heck of a weekend. I don't feel very rested, and you don't get a lot of 4-day weekends in the year, right? Like Good Friday, Saturday, Sunday, Easter, Monday. You don't get a lot of like, boom. A 4-day weekend is something, But anyways, it's fine. It's fine. We were gonna go to the planetarium, but no power. So, so I'm just gonna see. Oh, Seth. Yeah, I didn't really. I mean, I wasn't trumpeting it or anything. It kind of threw me a bit because he was only like 17 years older than me. And it threw my mom too because he's like 7 years younger than her. But yeah, I don't know. Anyways, whatever. We're gonna move on. Thanks to Serge and Steve. Yeah, and I didn't know that you can trace the train on the app at all. But when I saw like 29 kilometers an hour, I was like, "Oi, okay." So she's gonna arrive here late, tired, probably grumpy, and there's probably no metro. I'm picking her up and bringing her home. It was good to be able to do that though. Like before because you guys know I only got my driving license at 37, right? And it's because my wife was like, "No, you're getting your license." And I said, "No, it's too expensive. I can't afford the lessons." And she handed me this sheaf of like pamphlets and papers, and said, "Actually, I've already paid for it. You start tomorrow." And it's things like that that make me kind of grateful that I did. And also, like when I'm driving into the woods and stuff, like it's become much more useful than I had ever sort of thought. Because I grew up like a true Montrealer, right? Like a downtown Montrealer. I'm a Montrealer. I don't need no license. We're like Manhattanites that way. I believe that somebody's dropping comments in Discord. It's got that Discordy sound. Sorry. Yeah. Linda's saying sorry for your loss to LT. Oh, man, it's weird how someone just leaves a hole in your life, eh? Yeah. Condolences to you too, LT. Oh man, I'm late now. Jenny saves the day. Yeah, I don't have one. But yeah, okay. Because Canadian isn't a part of Ontario that got hit by the same thing as us. At the peak, there was 1.2 million customers without power in Quebec. About 800,000 customers in Montreal. Which is an excellent argument for burying the damn power lines. Just saying. Whiskey Harbor donated a couple of generators to the folks in Quebec during the ice storm in '98, and I'm glad you did. Thank you for your service, kind of thing. Because what was happening at the stores here was they were gouging people, right? Because generators were selling out like hotcakes, so they're just driving the prices up. That doesn't seem to have happened this time, but yeah, it's like sugaring off. Yeah, okay, so that's how late I am. Sorry, I'm gonna try to catch up. Serge had lost power during the Christmas holidays, and being out in the middle of nowhere, I used Wi-Fi calling on our phones, which didn't work. So I bought our battery backup just for the modem and router. Oh, that's a good idea. Our problem was not that there was no power going to our modem. Our problem was that Tech Savvy was out, and when I called them, they're like, "We can't tell you when the internet's going to be back because the tech department of Videotron has no power, and Tech Savvy uses Videotron's cables." So that's a big storm that hit and knocked our power out for 24 hours last August. Cold, the weaker trees and poles in need of maintenance, so we were lucky up in St. Jerome. Fair enough. Russell says they're cutting out all the trees that got down by the tornado last year. Yeah, and that makes sense too. Although, if they're not going across power lines or anything, I'm all for just leaving the trees in the forest or out in nature somewhere. Leave the trees on the ground to sort of decompose and become firewood. But, decompose and become food for the next generation of plants. Hey, Pam's here. How's it going? Yes, price gouging does suck, Russell. And whenever I see price gouging going on, I think you should lose everything. But then there's the argument that that's just how capitalism works and everything. That'll get political, so I'm moving right along. Robin agrees with Russell. Beto, how's it going? All is well. All is well. We came through kind of a rough spot in this town, but all is well now. Well, in this province and Ontario. I don't want to make it all just about us. But yeah, what time is it? It's 9:30. So I'm guessing, excuse me, gross. I'm guessing we don't have Al with us tonight. Am I right about that? I'm just checking. Yeah, I don't see Al's name. He's probably sleeping, because he's smart. LT says Quebec City spent million burying cable. Then we're going back to aerial cable for the tramway. That would be great in the next ice storm. Yeah. And look, it's harder to bury the cable for a tram or something though. Like Vancouver has electric buses. Like they've had electric buses since before it was a cool thing. And the way they work is two wires above the streets, and these two things sticking up from the back of the buses that hook onto the wires. And it's funny, every now and again, like bus will come around a corner or something and unhitch, and so this guy, so you see the driver have to get out and come around and click, click, so that the bus will work again. But the thing is, for something like that, it's really hard to power that, unless maybe a maglev train or something. But yeah, Linda's having lemon ginger tea. Serge is pinging on something that LT said. But here's the thing, like, to bury all the lines in Montreal, like all the subunits and stuff, what do they call it, subdivisions that are going in, they've all got the power lines underground. Doing the island of Montreal, though, like the established part, is apparently a very expensive prospect. I get it. So make it a 50-year project, right? So that no one who has a 4-year mandate is worried about going down in flames over whatever, $10 billion, right? Make it a 50-year project so that it's just spread out. Work is happening. Each consecutive ass-kicking storm takes down less of the power grid. And nobody has to, get like whatever, a $10 billion millstone around their neck, something like that. Because every time a storm hits, right? Okay, one was in '98, one was now, but we're in a world where once in a century storms are happening every 5 years, right? So how expensive is it going to become over time to be constantly repairing and picking up after storms like this? I don't know. I don't know any of the numbers. I was pulling 10 billion out of the ether. I don't know, but I do know that it would be expensive, or at least that's what they say. Russell, I'll let you bring yourself on screen so I don't surprise you. Hi.
Hey.
Just taking a look.
Can you hear me?
Yep, I hear you. I hear you. Peanut Trucker, Chris says, our little neighborhood is ungrounded cable, which is why we have power after the hurricane. Ungrounded?
I think he undergrounded.
That's what he meant to maybe say. Underground cable, yeah.
Grounded.
Yeah.
I was going to say, I worked for excuse me. Oh, guess what I'm having, Jess?
What are you having?
I was back in the city today.
Oh, look at that.
This is the roasted vanilla espresso dark. What the hell?
Chocolate. Snack in a can.
Roasted vanilla espresso. Wow. Anyway, yeah, I was in the city today and I was in a beer store and I saw these and I went, okay, well, and bought like 3 6-packs. It's the seasonal mix. So we're gonna pour it here. Oop. Oh, it's frozen in the can.
Oh no.
Oh, here we go. It's like a liquid poop thing, where some of it's lumpy and some of it's.
Yes. Robin says, don't worry, Montreal will build more bike paths to fix it. Ha ha ha. Shawnee says they started burying power lines out in the country finally. We get a lot of ice storms. It's the best way to go about it. Like, if something does happen to your power cable, it's expensive as crap to fix, but,
I worked for a telecom years ago, and a lot of the fiber that went across the country followed railway tracks because they're very much uninterrupted lines for long, long distances.
Yeah.
They had problems when they crossed bridges and stuff like that, but the funny part was that we got a daily railroad derailment report, like how often trains like where the trains have derailed and stuff. And I didn't think it happened that often, but I was looking at this report. They happen like almost daily, like every other day. There's a train derailing somewhere in Canada. It's just wild.
Should move the whole thing to maglev.
Yeah, maybe. I don't know. drones.
There's something that they've been promising for decades, eh? Maglev
Maglev?
trains. Yeah. Never
Yeah.
seems to go anywhere.
Well, I like the idea. They had one idea where it was like they're kind of maybe it was maglev, but I don't remember. But it was supposed to go from something like the UK across Europe through China into Russia across to Alaska and then down into the States and eventually ending up in New York or something like that. That'd be pretty cool. Cool
Wow.
trip. Come on.
Shawnee says, a beer slushy.
I thought I'd put it in the freezer just for a perfect amount of time, but apparently it was a
Right.
bit too long.
You know where Al is tonight?
I tried to bug him earlier, and he doesn't seem to be around. So don't open the blue.
Okay. All right. I'll open something else. Oh, Tim. Oh, Destiny, what I'm
Oh yeah,
drinking is just straight up black tea.
you'll be proud of me. I tried tea. Was it last week?
Nice.
Almost
Delish,
killed
right?
me. Almost
That which
killed.
does not kill you makes you stronger. Tim says that Christy's coming home on the 22nd of April. Nice.
Oh, yeah, I saw.
Man, that's been
He
a
said
long
that.
time.
I think he said that on Friday. Like, yeah, this is a long time, but
Yeah,
good.
dude, I was without internet, so I'm just getting this as news. I love that news. That's good news.
Hmm.
So what am I going to open tonight then?
Wow, this is.
I guess I'll have a little Arden American. So how's the
guess I
beer
should.
slushy?
I guess I should have looked at this closer. I thought it was the same seasonal pack that they came out with like before Christmas, but this roasted vanilla espresso dark lager is not one that I've had before. It's actually not bad. You can taste definitely the espresso,
Mm-hmm.
the coffee tones.
Notes of coffee, notes of espresso, notes of darkened
Um,
glasses.
and it's got
Vanilla.
that hint of stout that I don't like. It's kind of a harsh stout. It hits the back of your throat. So I look at a little milder, maybe a little sweeter is
Mm-hmm.
what I would like to see. But I got two other ones. I have to find out what they are now. I
Right.
mean, the box looks exactly the same.
Yeah.
Anyway, I do have some show and tell. So whenever you're ready for that, we'll do that.
Do you want to wait until 10 or like for whiskey time, or do you
Sure.
want to do it? Yeah.
Yeah. While you're fooling around with, whatever it is,
Right.
your whiskey.
The whiskey. Uh, Sean is asking Tim if the wife will need home care. Oh, and he's already answered. Yes, she will have home care. She's learning to walk and has been doing excellent with that. Okay, good enough.
How's
Good
her,
enough
Tim?
for
How's
me.
her like state of mind? Is she kind of normal mental wise? I I can't. I mean, other than the fact that she's been living in a hospital for months on end, I can't imagine that does much for a person's mental state. But
It's funny because I was talking to someone today whose dad is in his 80s, uh, and before COVID was a good 80s, like always out, always moving, always blah, always doing this, and because of isolation and reduced like his mobility was reduced because he couldn't go out, and then it just sort of did this feedback loop so that he's now in a wheelchair.
yeah, well,
Is that
and
a Stella Artois glass?
it is. Yeah,
I've got a
I've
few of
got
those.
the Stella part turned around. There you go.
Hmm.
Yeah,
They're
great
good
glass.
glasses. Yeah.
Yeah, we had four of them, and then slowly broke each one over time. And just when we were thinking of buying a new set, a good buddy of mine, gave a set to me for Christmas. I'm like, how did you know?
That works.
Those weird things.
Yeah, that works. Shawnee's drinking a homegrown tea blend. What's in that blend? What are you doing? What are you drinking there? Is that like hibiscus and floral stuff, or is it green herbs? What?
He went
Or
out into
is
the
it?
yard with a shovel. Essence of backyard.
They apparently Destiny says they now X-ray the train and send a report to the station if they find anything wrong. I thought that was neat. Wow, that is. I didn't know
They
that.
X-ray the train. What does
I
that
hope no
mean?
one's on that train when they X-ray it. It's like I go to the dentist and they're like, "Okay, we're gonna X-ray you now," and lay this huge lead cape across me. I'm like, "Oh God, okay."
Well,
Put this
that's like okay.
thing.
we know what's wrong with your teeth and the person in the other room. We know what's wrong with them too. How
Yeah.
strong is that?
Um, oh, Robin's asking a cool question. He's asking, which pint glass that has been sacrificed to the children gods would you wish to get back? Okay, there's a story behind this. Robin used to travel a lot for work, and he made it a point wherever he was to hit a local microbrew, kind of a whatever a brasserie is called in English. Brasserie? No. Brewing place? Brew pub? I know with whiskey it's a distillery. With beer it is a place that brews. Whatever. He would visit a local brew pub or place that brews, um, and buy a couple of glasses, one for me and one for him. Um, and I think, Robin, you would go and see a sports game that I could never understand, but you love. What you like baseball, right? Was it baseball or was it? It wasn't football. Ah, Jesus, this is ancient history now. Oh, okay. He says local microbrew and local baseball. Okay, there you go. So he would bring home two glasses, one for him and one for me. And over time, I think Robin's, you've lost all of your pint glasses, haven't you? And I've lost a few, but I've still got some. I don't know which is the one I would love to have back the most. But like these glasses were all the exact same glass. You can buy them in bulk and then slap your logo on them, right? They're that sort of really straight sided one. The one actually that um, will fill in for half of a Boston shaker. Like if you have a Boston shaker that's tin, whatever the metal is, stainless, and a glass, that's a pint glass. But I don't know. I had a lot of them. And I think it's cooler to have glasses like that than to have just a bunch of Guinness glasses, right? Everyone's got a bunch of Guinness glasses, but it's nice to have all these little microbrewery logos on your glasses.
Hmm.
Okay, so Robin goes to see local baseball because Montreal doesn't have a team anymore. True. Yeah. Um. Good old beer.
Good old beer.
Tim and his wife are getting to know each other again.
Okay, hold on. Before you read that, we um
What's up with your name and everything? She's a new Christy. Oh yeah, some of the old is there, but everything is new in her mind. For instance, she would ask what car I drive, what music I like, what does our home look like. Okay.
that's amazing and
Yeah.
somewhat that is amazing. Sorry, what were you asking?
I don't remember.
My name?
Uh, I have no idea.
Okay.
I have a mind like a steel sieve, dude. If I don't write it down, it gets forgotten.
Anyway,
Joke's on me
then
if
there's
I've got
this.
like early onset Alzheimer's, right? I shouldn't
Well,
say that.
I feel the same way too. Like
Yeah.
my mind is so wrecked that I can't remember things, and I'm so scatterbrained most of the time. I wonder if this isn't the onset of Alzheimer's. I'd be really surprised if I just spend the rest of my life like this. I'm going to be like at the end. I'm going to be like, ha ha, on me. I guess
Yeah.
I didn't have Alzheimer's. I just fucked up. Excuse me.
Hey, what's with the swearing, dude? We don't do that around here.
Oh,
We
I'm
don't want
sorry.
NC-17 rating on the live stream now.
NC-17. Things will have to
I
change
just
quite a
read a
bit for that to
piece.
happen.
I just read a piece listing every NC-17 movie made since the rating was created. Ah, Jerry just sent me a picture of a Waterloo Brewing pint glass. How cool is
Hmm,
that? Russell, you got to pick up a couple of those next time.
that is
Actually, where the hell is
pretty
Waterloo
cool.
Brewing?
Probably in Waterloo.
So it's not that close to you. Pour the bore.
No, it's like 4 hours from here.
Hmm. Yeah. Yeah, Linda knows what I'm talking about. She's got the Guinness glasses. I have a. Oh, Robin, you still got. Okay, three. Um, at one point, I got a crap ton of Guinness glasses because the pub where I was working at got American pint glasses, so they couldn't use them. So they just gave them to staff, whoever wanted some.
Hmm.
LT's got over 60 of those microbrewery and beer glass. Yikes.
LT, are you a bit of a
Traveler?
that's not the
Travelatory.
word I was going to use.
I know, but I'm salvaging the live stream.
You saw what I was about to say before I said it.
Yep, pretty much.
LT, I'm going to say it anyway. LT, are you a bit of a hoarder? And here's every burned match I've ever found in my entire life, carefully organized in these 6 photo albums.
I'm not a hoarder, but I am definitely a pack rat, and I've been trying to mitigate that as much as possible in recent years. But I'm still like, I live. This place is a mess, and the thing is, it weighs on my head as well as my wife's. You know, like I wish I could just organize this desk and it would stay organized. I wish I could go uber minimalist, but there's just so many axes to buy.
Yeah, I'm the same way.
So many knives to buy. I mean, I'm not a big knife guy. I'm much more of an axe guy. But you know, there's just so many things, so many bottles to buy, so many things. There's a lot of things, and part of it is
Hey,
just that I have
I
a
got the
hard time
last
being
plot.
yuck. Oh, that's gross.
Yeah, I'm going to give this one a pass, even though I've got a lot more of them. Anyway, carry on.
You don't like
Organizing.
it? You're not enjoying it?
It's not bad. I mean, it's not like Bone Shaker or
Mm.
some of those other dumb IPAs that have no excuse
Yeah.
calling themselves beer, but um, yeah, it's drinkable.
I think I've mentioned to you guys probably like the biggest impact beer I have ever had, and it might be partly context driven, is by where is it? Hold on a second. In BC, there's a distillery. No, no, they don't make beer at distilleries. They make beer at brewing places,
We
breweries.
knew what you meant.
Okay. So there's this like totally hippie run brewery called Cranog Ales. Okay, it's in Sorrento, British Columbia, and like it's brewed on like an organic farm. It's only sold in BC, and like you know you can buy a growler and stuff because they're all like got to keep it as fresh as possible. And the first time I tried this beer was our first year playing the Celtic Festival in up at Abraham Lake in Alberta, and we met two much bigger bands than us. One was the Darina Harvey band, which is just fabulous, and the other was Cod Gone Wild. And Cod Gone Wild are from BC, and so they brought this growler of this beer called the Backhand of God, and it is very well named. It's just like this explosion of taste and stuff. It's like a dry ale, just fabulous, and it's not like an uber high octane. It's like a 5.2% or something, but it's just it's got so much taste. And I wish that they would throw that into cans and ship them across the country. You know?
Yeah.
LT says, just on useful items, I don't collect much, but on some items, yes. He's got a collection of knives like you wouldn't believe.
Yeah, but LT, after the 57th knife, I'm not sure that they're useful anymore.
You know, it like I used to collect foreign currency, right? And so like I've got a binder over there with all kinds of bills in it. What am I ever going to do with these? Nothing. But sometimes
Bills?
I take them out and look at them. Like, you know,
You,
pound notes, like paper money.
sorry. Okay. Right. You said money, and then you're just talking about bills. I was like, what? Why would you keep
Oh, yeah,
bills?
I collect bills too. Let me tell you, I'd like to chop out
This,
about half of
this is
that.
my first water bill from 1987.
Yeah.
My parents, I mean.
Yeah. Oh, Tim is out. Thank you for support, everyone. I appreciate driving home now from LA. All right. Have a good drive. He's probably already gone. Hey.
Probably.
Whoops. There's Excuse Me. How's it going? Nice to see you. Destiny says, so what does Russell have for show and tell? We're waiting
Wait.
another 9 minutes for that, Destiny.
Yeah.
I
What?
could go,
What?
cause
Well, Jess is going to do his nose breathing and palate feely things, and then he's he's pantomiming it right now.
yes, I'm being demonstrative. Yeah.
Very nice. After that,
Yeah. Um, hold on a second. So yeah, in 9 minutes, Russell will do show and tell. Alain is here. Oh, haha! You're here for the crypto trading advice. Yeah, thanks for bringing back a particularly painful memory, Alain.
you didn't invest in crypto, did you?
No, but what he's referring to is when my Instagram got hacked and was being used to flog crypto with my
Oh,
face on it. I was like, oh my god,
right. Cool.
I felt so violated. I really did.
You
Holy
you
crap!
felt so
Seeing my
violated.
face being used that way, I was like, oh my god, I got to do something to stop this funker.
Yeah, I've already demonetized your live stream, so I
Yeah,
say
you
go
already
for it.
have. um, where was I? Okay, I'm just seeing what. Oh, don't have to sharpen them often. LT says he's talking to you, Russell. But more than
Oh,
270 is quite a collection. Yikes! See,
that is a brilliant point right there. You buy so
yeah,
many knives, you never have to sharpen them.
it's a good point. I got to sharpen my kitchen knives. So you just reminded me. And it's funny because I enjoy sharpening because you can kind of zen out. But the setup, because my stones, because I have to soak my stone, I don't sharpen very much. If I had like splash and go stones, I would sharpen a lot more because I don't have to work in the 10 or 20 minutes of stone soaking time. Okay, I'm just going to start that sentence again. All right. And take two, go. I don't really sharpen that often because I have to soak my stones. If I had splash and go stones, then I would sharpen more often because I don't have to work in the extra 10 minutes of stone soaking time.
What do you what do you think of those? Have you see those little plastic things? They've got the little two sharpeners inside, and you just kind of keep running your knife through it. What do you think of those?
Okay. I have two opinions on those.
Or are you saying there's two schools of thought?
Yeah, but I have both of them. Yeah, there are two schools of thought. Like real knife guys would never let those things touch their blades. For me, I think that it's not something I would use all the time, but
Mm-hmm.
okay, I would not use those on my better knives because on my better knives, I do I do it by hand on stones or on emery paint. No, abrasive film. You know, 1
Yep.
micron. But for like, I just need to cut this damned steak, like on your steak knives or whatever. Yeah. Look, the, if for sharpening, you just need your knives to cut and you don't care about sort of the finer points, then those are an excellent solution. Absolutely. For
Yeah.
people who are more into like, okay, I got to get it at exactly 30 degrees and blah, 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 they're not really going to go for that. I like to have one of those as an emergency sharpener with my bush gear, but I've never used it.
I watched a guy butchering a cow once. YouTube video. He was obviously he really knew what he was doing, but he had one of those long, I forget what they're called, those sharpening spikes. You do this
Yeah, the honing rod.
honing around. Yeah, he did that probably every few minutes. He'd go at the thing and then go back to his butchering.
Yeah, that's because the honing rod doesn't sharpen; it just sort of hones the edge. so the effect doesn't last as long. I use my honing knives. Right. Shut up, Jesse. Start again. I use my honing rod before I use my kitchen knives every time. Right now. Absolutely. Yeah. I would like to point out something that Shawnee said. It's been so nice out here as well. It was beautiful. It was 14 degrees today. We found a tent in
Yeah.
the garage we didn't know we had. We set it up and it fit the five of us. Is that like winning the lottery without realizing that you'd bought a ticket or what?
That's pretty wild that you have a 6-person tent and you didn't realize you had it.
I know.
You notice I said 6 and not 5, right?
Yeah. No, as a 6 person.
In fact, it's
Yeah.
probably like a 3-person tent.
Yeah.
Or sorry,
Oh,
like a tent. Whatever. Anyway.
I get what you're saying. Kristen uses those on her kitchen knives. Yeah, and the thing is, it works fine if you're just sharpening up.
We had
You know.
we had this one, our kids who are like adults. They like to make sushi, and we have this one knife in the kitchen that good for cutting sushi, but it would dull really quickly. So they just grab that thing and run it up and down, and keep going. And it was, what do you got?
Arden American. Because I'm not using the blue if Al's not around, and this is a great whiskey. I'm gonna go see Man About a Hearse. I do want to. Bum, bum, bum. There was something.
What are we
Oh,
talking about?
here's something. Here's something that you've got to have something hilarious to say about. What kind of stone does Sean James use? Is it some sort of wet stone? I'll be right back.
Well, okay. First of all, I don't watch every Sean James video, so I may have missed him doing some sharpening. I certainly seen him sharpen his axe using that the puck, the sharpening puck. I've seen him do that. Jess has one as well. I was just looking at my network graph, and one of the lines went to 0. I'm like, what happened? But it was just cutting his video. I honestly, I don't know what he's got for sharpening. He seems like one of those people that I don't want to say anything bad about him, and I never will say anything bad about him. But he probably knows how to use a whetstone, but he probably doesn't. And he might use it in a video, but I think he would do something quicker. Like he's a guy that has to get to work, right? He's not going to spend 2 hours sharpening stuff. If I were to guess, I'd say he's probably got a Lansky system set up for stuff. And the Lansky system, you can Google that. The Lansky system is pretty popular. Lansky. Let me just Google that real quick for you guys. I've got so many. I've been researching something. I'm doing an investigative video, and I've been researching something. Probably got like 100 windows and tabs open right now, so it's hard to find stuff. Lansky. There we go. So let me just do that, and I'll share my screen. Share the Lansky. Yeah, here we go. So that's what I'm talking about. Lansky system. So this is essentially it. Your Lansky thing goes together like that. That red thing is I'm going to forget all my words right now. The stone, the sharpening stone. Your knife gets clamped between the clamps, and then you just run that red thing, along the edge of your knife, and it keeps it in this picture, it's at a 25-degree angle. Right? You can set it for 30, 25, 20, 17 in this system anyway. This one comes with the 5 different stones. Looks like 70 grit extra coarse. I can't tell what the next one is. 100? 150 maybe. Then the next one 280 medium stone, 600 fine stone, and then 1000 ultra fine. So what you do is you start, depending on how dull your knife is, you start it with one of the lower ones to kind of start working on a new edge, or maybe you're putting a new angle on your edge. So you start with one of the lower ones until you get that right, and then you just keep moving up in the grids. until you get to the ultra fine. I could see Sean using like something like that. That's a long answer to your question, isn't it? Buy a diamond rod sharpener like the Easy Lap C picture on Signal. Oh, okay. So you sent him a picture. What do you think his mom's husband put in there as a gift? What? The tent. It has no damage. We think his mom's husband put it in there as a gift since they bought a camper. Oh, okay. You have a 6-person tent stained with orange mold. Ugh. Can you wash it out, or is it destroyed? John James used the stone to sharpen both his axe and knives. He wet it first. Oh, was it the puck, Destiny? Like the puck you typically use with axes, or was it something else? Jess, when is your next overnight camping video? You should do one in the backyard. I need to grab another beer. Where's Jess? I bet he comes back with cheese. LJ's got the Lansky, Diamond Stone, and many
Trial
old
version.
stones. Trial version. I think he's back somehow. So, Jess, I was talking about the Lansky system while you were gone.
Oh yeah, I have the I have that. Well, I have an off-brand version of that. Do you have one?
I think I've got 2 Lansky sets actually.
It's a good solution, I find.
And you can buy. I was showing the 5. Let me throw it back over. The 5 stone one. I think you can get them with 4 stones, or maybe even 3 stones. And I think the only difference is the price.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, aside the fact that you get an extra stone.
But you know what I wish mine had, and that way the one you gonna start again. But you know what I wish mine had, and the one that you showed still doesn't have, is a stand. Because I find it tough trying to hold that thing up and work it.
That's an interesting point. I think I have a stand with mine.
Do you?
I wonder where it is. I'll do your Scotch thing, buddy.
Oh yeah. Okay, so this is the Arden American AD/01.21:01. Come on, fool. There we go. Now, isn't that the worst name ever? So, AD, I guess, is Arden American 0121, so January 21st. I don't know what the 01 is. 2001. That's not a name. That's a software version number, and I said that on my second review of this bottle. But the juice is very good. Very young, but very good. Caramel right off the top. Vanilla right off the top. It's very malty. There's a spice element there, kind of a cooking spice, not quite a cinnamon, maybe a nutmeg. There's something nutty happening. Maybe a little vanilla candy, like a lemon drop. Light though, fresh and airy. On the palate, very similar, but it's way spicier, very peppery, and it dries you out almost right away. And it leaves sort of this mist. There's an espresso thing that hits at the back of the throat, in the mouth, stronger than on the nose. Very, very good. Nice booze. Not a great deal though. This is unaged, which means it's a 3-year probably, and it was like $110. So when they put a 10-year out, I fear what it's going to cost. Let me just take a look. Is that like a chocolate raspberry?
This is the apple crumble.
Oh, apple crumble.
Porter.
That's either going to be and it's a porter.
I've had this one before, and it is delicious.
I made I made pear crumble yesterday. Okay.
Did you take that to the palate? Did I miss that?
Yeah, I took it to the palate.
Yeah, you did. Okay, sorry.
I said it dried out very, very quickly, but not in a bad way. Steve Matto is asking when my next overnight camping video is. I do not know. My summer is being ripped right out of my graspy little hands. I'm gonna, yeah, whatever. I'll work something out. LT says buy a diamond rod sharpener like the Easy Lap. See the picture on Signal. LT sent me a picture. Can I show this picture? Oh yeah. Okay. Yeah. I know what you're talking about. I see that big. I would like a ceramic rod. Oh yeah, and he's showing his land ski setup that he's got. Hold on, there it is. Yeah.
What is that? As good as we get?
Yeah.
Can you not do this on your PC?
There it is. I also have, and Robin also has the same, more for our woodworking tools, but it works on certain bush tools as well. I have a sheet of glass with varying levels of emery film or something, whatever, on it, in various micron sizes. Yeah. I'm just looking at. Sean James used a stone to sharpen both his axe and knives. Yeah, it's probably it's a whetstone. It's a water stone.
Yeah, that's kind of what I said. Is that if he did it in a video, it's probably a whetstone.
Yeah, I do like. But I also have little diamond cards that I use when I'm in the bush. Russell, that's what I used to touch up your knife and your axe while I was camping on your land. Just like little diamond plates. For diamond plates, it's best to maybe spend a little extra and get sort of a name brand, because the diamond grit will be adhered. I don't know how to say this. The adherence of the diamond grit to the plate will be stronger. Does that make any sense? Like whereas some of the off-brand ones, the I'm looking for a word for adherent, like glue.
Glued.
Yeah, the whatever they use to glue the
Fastened.
diamond.
I think it's
Whatever
hilarious
it's
when we
called.
forget English words.
Oh my god. Whatever it is that keeps the diamond grit on the plates can be a little weak on some of the off-brand ones because of minimalist expenditure
Epoxy.
in production, right?
Okay.
So
I think we
good.
get the idea.
Yeah.
So good.
So good. Yeah, Destiny says there was a Tanglestone. They had two. Great. Yeah. He probably has like a 400/1000 and 2000, 4000 or something. I have a 400. No, I have an 800 4000. I think that I use mostly.
Yeah, I think. Yeah.
Alain owns a Lansky kit, but you don't like about it is you don't set the angle right. You end up reprofiling the V edge, and it can take a lot of material off. Yeah, and that's the one reason I don't like that thing that Russell was asking about. That has like the two things, and you just sort of stick your knife in and pull it through. If it's not the angle that your knife came in or that you want it on, then you're removing a lot of metal for sure. Alain is, are you okay, Jess? You seem a little under the weather. I'm not feeling great. I think I caught a cold from living in a house with no power for 2 days and going to sleep in a 10-degree bedroom. One of the guys I work with has a wicked cold that he caught for exactly that reason. I'm a little under the weather, but not so bad. Not so bad. I've had some sinus thing happening, but I don't think it's related to the ice storm because we didn't lose our heat. Pam says, that's an odd name. At work, we would think there was something wrong. We needed to patch it. Yeah, it's a terrible name for a whiskey. It's a software beta number. AD0121.:01. Like, for God's sakes. Steve would love to see me release a weekend camping video. I would love to release a weekend camping video.
You touched on that one already.
Yeah. Excuse me, is asking what kind of Japanese knife did City Girl get? I can't remember the name.
I don't remember either.
Serge says, I'm currently recovering from a cold, first time since COVID. It feels weird to get just a straight up cold or the flu again, doesn't it? It's like I got a flu recently and I was like, nice to see you, old buddy. It feels like it's been forever. Alain has the same ceramic rod as LT, but you're not crazy about it. You do like the rod for light touch-ups. To me, a rod is only good for light touch-ups. Like the one I use in the kitchen, it's a steel rod, but it doesn't replace actual knife sharpening. You know, it's good for honing. That's all they really are. They're just honing knives, honing rods. I made that mistake earlier too, didn't I, Russell? Honing knives. What is wrong with me?
Maybe.
Steve Meto would like to see you do a hunting video this fall, Russell.
I do a hunting video every fall, Steve. In fact, last year I live streamed it.
Did you?
Yeah. Sat right over there, live streamed. Yeah. Like, well, not every day, but several days I sat there. It was kind of fun, actually, because I had one camera pointing over the pond at this spot I was looking at.
Yeah. LT says his Lansky stones go from coarse 120, medium 280, fine 600, ultra fine 1000, sapphire 2000, and hard Arkansas 1200 to 1400 grit.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5. That's 6 stones.
Yeah, he's got a. Now Christy says Howells. Oh, how is that beer? I was like, Howells that beer? What? What does that mean?
It's not bad. The apple crumble. Oh yeah, I kind of get it. I can taste the apple-y in it. It's not bad though. I mean, it's a porter, so porters are usually good anyway.
Well, and a porter is not going to give you that sharpness at the back that you don't like from a stout, right? Because porters are generally it's a sweeter thing than a stout.
Yeah, it's not that sweet actually, but it's not bad. Anyway, let me do some show and tell, Jess.
Okay, just let me answer this one comment before you do it. But I'm interested to see what you got to show. Pam says that Jess should live stream during a weekend camping trip and Russell live stream from a hunting trip again. I will tell you something. When I replace this phone with something that runs on 5G, I would be able to do that. That's one of the reasons I'm dying for a new phone, is so that I can live stream and stuff from outside.
Was that your phone number? I think I saw your phone number.
No, that was the time. Whoops. That was the time. It's just the time.
Did you hear about the time? There's a guy with over like 500,000 subscribers on YouTube, and he got up to do a thing at, what was it, YouTube conference in California? Anyway, he got up and he's showing his phone, and he's talking, and like his phone number is visible while he's showing his phone. So, of course, he started getting lots of calls, and because he was live streaming at the same time. But anyway.
But dude, I'll share my phone number. It's 567-9309.
I usually do it's oh my God, what is that? Oh, now I can't remember. There's a generic one that they always use in movies for an area code.
555. Yeah.
Is it 555? Okay, so I would say 555-911, 7345. By the time they finish with 911,
yeah, it's like, wait a minute,
ringing. Anyway, here we go. Ready? So this is in the vein of things I bought, which I wish I hadn't bought, because we're gonna rehash some old stuff here.
Oh yeah, I want to see this.
So matches.
Those are Strike Anywhere matches. What's wrong with
Strike
that?
Anywhere matches, and I bought these. I saw these at a dollar store. All these boxes, and I'm like, holy shit! And for holy poop, for $1. And I was like, so I bought like all of them, thinking, what a great find. And I even spent the time, I took a bunch of matches and I melted some wax and I put the wax around the ends so that they become waterproof.
For stormproof, yeah.
And I thought, this is great stuff. But here's why they were in the dollar store.
Oh.
They don't work, and it doesn't matter what surface. They're supposed to be Strike Anywhere, right? You should be able to do them on any surface. on bricks, on the wood stove, nothing. They do not light at all.
So how many boxes of these duds do you have?
I got like 12 boxes of these things. And I'm
Whoops.
rather pissed off about the whole thing. So now what I do is if I'm well, it's spring now, I'm barely lighting any fires anymore. But if I'm lighting a fire, I'll like grab a bunch of them in my hand, light them with the lighter. So I'll get going. I toss them in, try and help the fire get going. Stupid. All right, I got another thing for the. I wish I hadn't bought.
Mm-hmm.
Back in September 2015, when I bought this property, actually, coincidentally or uncoincidentally. Oh, this isn't even going to work now, is it? Oh, the battery's dead in
Alain
this.
says Russell blew $12 on useless matches. Poor guy.
Hey, shut up, you.
Hey, Steve's here. Hi, Steve.
Hey, it's nine toes.
Is it too soon for that comment?
Oh, no. I've been telling him he needs to lose another toe so we can get 3 months off work again. No, seriously, I knew a guy working at General Tire in Barrie. Well, I didn't know. I knew a guy who knew a guy who knew a guy who lost a pinky on one of the machines. You know, they're making
Mm-hmm.
tires. Got 25 grand for it. And he said, "Oh, this isn't too bad actually."
So how much would
so
he
we
make for a ring finger?
so he lost another finger. I
Did
don't.
he?
Yeah, thump. And it's
Yuck.
so quick too. He's in the machine and thump, gone. Anyway, I the battery's no good in this. I had this charging for like 3 days, and it's
What is that? Oh, it's a little Garmin thing. He's
yeah. It's
changing satellites.
sorry. No, I'm back. It's a Garmin T-Rex. Uh, is that 30? Yeah, Garmin T-Rex 30. As I said, I bought it when I bought the property because I thought, a big property, I can easily get lost out here. I need
Mm-hmm.
something good. And somehow this ended up at the bottom of a dry bag in a bin upstairs in the cabin. And I had no idea what had happened to it. And I thought about it often, thinking, I spent $350 on this sucker. Where did it go? And the stupid thing is, I mean, it's probably a good thing, good unit, but it doesn't even have a touch screen. You got to use this stupid nub to move
Mm.
around, and
Yeah,
yeah,
the era before touchscreens was full of little
yeah.
Frankensteiny solutions like that, eh?
For that kind of money, as I said, it's probably a great unit. Probably has a lot of features in there that are useful. But when I go out now, I take my phone. I have a really good app on
Mm-hmm.
my phone that I use, and
What's the app you have on your phone?
Backcountry Navigator.
I'm seeing what I have on mine. Yep, I have Backcountry Navigator as well. XE.
I don't know if it's XE,
Probably is. It's whatever is the one I didn't pay for.
whatever, but it's good. And it's the most powerful part of it. I find is that like I can use Google. Sorry, I can use Google Earth, and I can on Google Earth you can draw. Your in my case, I drew my property boundaries and stuff using coordinates, and then I exported it into a KML file, took it on my phone, imported it into Backcountry Navigator, and now I have my property in there,
Yeah.
and I use it for
Um.
trips a lot. Like if I'm making a trip, I'll record a trip, and it tells me how far I went and how long
Right.
it took, and the elevation changed, and shows it on a map.
Yeah. You just remind me. Possibly, in my geeky opinion, the coolest use of Google Earth was a guy who works with me, who's the copy editor. He read a book about one of these guys who conquered the North, and it was Tyrell, I think. And as in the book, the places they landed their canoes and stuff, or they canoed, were mentioned. He followed along on Google Earth so that he could get like
Hmm.
a concrete knowledge of just how far they were going. And it would never have occurred to me to do that because when I'm reading a book, I'm all about the book. I don't do any supporting research, you know. But I bought the
Why?
same book, and I've started doing the same thing.
I I followed a YouTube channel of a couple that's sailing around the world kind of thing, and in every video they'll show their GPS and they'll show their actual location and GPS coordinates. So that's fun to call up Google Maps and find out exactly where in the world they were at the time of filming.
Yep. Yeah. LT says, I got the same Redbird Strike Anywhere match from Canadian Tire, and they work great. Well, that's the thing. When you're buying from the dollar store, you're buying like the B stock, right? Or the stuff that
This is
was returned to the distributor kind of thing.
yeah,
So
this is the crap that didn't work. So
yeah, yeah.
and that's happened to me
Steve,
several times actually. Buying stuff at the
yeah.
dollar store, you better beware that this is
There's a
not
reason
the.
it's affordable. Yeah, absolutely. Steve says if I ever go to the guest bay, I'll let him know. Yeah, I went. I don't go very often, but I used to go on occasion for moose hunting. Beautiful part of the country. Absolutely. Serge is nodding off a bit. I think it's time for you to go to bed. All right. Good night, mister. I don't
Can I
even know what time
Serge?
it is. Good night, Serge. Have a good sleep. Steve says it's good. It's all healed, so not too soon. All right. When it looked like when it looked like a half-eaten wing was too soon. Gross. I'm a little squeamish, dude.
Steve, that'd have been hilarious if you'd like put some ketchup on that and like brought your foot up to your
Grody.
mouth, like.
So gross. No, that's not what I meant to click on.
You could have fun with it.
Pam says we use OnX Hunt since it lets us see property lines. Oh, that's interesting. That makes sure that you're not crossing onto someone else's property.
That's interesting. These days, a lot of counties and townships and stuff have like GIS for their areas, and you can actually look up property lines and stuff,
Oh, that's
which
cool.
is pretty cool.
Looks like LT's out. All right. It was nice to see you again, LT.
Good night,
Bonsoir,
LT.
mon ami. À la prochaine.
Oh, speaking of LT, I got my last show and tell.
Okay, go.
When we were talking about knives. When were we talking about knives? I forget. Anyway, I
When are
talked
we
about a
not talking
knife.
about knives?
I was talking about, I don't know, was it last week?
Yeah.
Anyway, we were talking about our first knives, and I told you about a knife that I bought. Actually, my dad bought for me. And this was at the 400 Market, which is like a flea market. And I saw this
Is
knife, and it was not long after seeing Rambo.
show me the hilt.
The
Oh,
hilt.
that's the
Oh, you
Rambo
want to see
knife.
the hilt?
I want to
This
see the
is
hilt.
totally Rambo knife, and it's got like a cardboard sheath, right?
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
It's got the little sharpening stone in there.
But does it have the hollow handle? It has the hollow handle, doesn't it?
And you
Yeah.
know what? Somehow, stupidly, so I put this cordage on here,
Okay.
this for this grip, and I for some reason I attached it to the thing, but I should still be able to get it out. I guess this was kind of smart of me because it won't. I can't lose it now. It's a little hard to do.
Like
So
I see where.
you got the little compass.
Yeah, 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 yeah. That's
Does
what I
it
was
work?
looking for.
And then,
Who the heck
oh no!
knows?
Oh no! The inside thing's gone.
Oh no!
What was
Let me guess.
it?
You
Was a
used to have
little.
it stuffed with those dollar store matches.
Maybe. There was a little plastic canister in there, and it had like some matches, a couple of fishing hooks, some fishing
Yeah,
line.
survival kit. Yeah, yeah. Those things were like every army surplus in Montreal had some variant of that knife for sale, and they all had like some
Oh
little
yeah,
survival kit in the hilt.
it was $20. I was so. My dad bought this for me, which is a bit weird because I didn't really know my dad very well.
That sounds like a story we probably shouldn't talk about online.
He's dead now.
Fair
That was my
enough.
stepdad, so it's all go. But yeah, it has a bit of an edge on it. But yeah, there's the Rambo knife for you.
Yeah. Man, that looks like it was made in 1986. You know what I'm saying?
Exactly, right?
Yeah.
Exactly. Anyway, that was my only knife for a long time. There you go.
I love it.
So that's not a thing I regret buying, although I didn't even buy it. But that's not, and I'll keep it forever because it's such a great story. Even the cardboard sheath, right?
Yeah. Yeah, I love it. Excuse me, says Russell. That's a knife. I never got one of those. I wanted one for a long time, like when I was young
Oh
and
yeah.
in the 80s, when I was young. But I never got one. In fact, it's funny because my first knife was a Swiss Army knife, and I don't know where it is. It disappeared on me. But I would love to, because my first knife was a Swiss Army knife. I would love to get a good Swiss Army knife. Not like one of those with a bajillion tools, but one with whatever a dozen really well thought out tools. Something really outdoorsy.
Well,
Um,
yeah, yeah, I hear
when
you.
uh, I don't know if you guys remember Simon, who used to be in the side chat, and in fact, he was
Mhm.
on several of my earlier live streams. He has a couple of Swiss Army knives, or whatever the Victorinox are called now, multi tools. He's got one or two that I would really like to have. Um, but
I bet you could find them on eBay.
probably good. Alain says, I like those Rambo knives, even though they aren't always built too sturdy. Well, that's the thing. Like, hollow, like, there's no tang on those because the handle's hollow. So, for land's sakes, don't baton with them. And they're supposed to be survival knives. I like the most Hollywood of survival knives. You're not drinking whiskey, are you, tonight? I know you still got that
No, I
Grants.
don't. I don't have any. Although you know what I do have, which is kind of funny.
What?
Let me go grab it.
Hey, homie Omi in the house. How's it going, homie?
Yomi.
Ice water is in the house. I don't know what Russell's getting. I hope he's getting the Grants. Throw a couple of rocks in that Grants next time you drink it. It'll soften it up over time.
Yes, I don't have any more grants.
What? You drank the Grants?
Well, it got drank during a taste test.
Okay.
And maybe some other nights.
That Grant should be good for certain cocktails, I think, but I would never certain. What you got there? What you got there?
I'm. Oh, wait. What? Maybe I didn't drink it. I showed it in the cocktail video.
Yes.
Where the hell did that end up? Anyway, I brought a Irish cream stout,
Mm.
and this is what I was going to show you. Crown Royal
Whiskey
whiskey.
et cola.
Yes, or with Coke.
Interesting.
And it's purple.
It is purple. Well, Crown, right? It comes in a purple bag.
So I could probably
Did I ever tell
distill
you
that.
guys this? Oh, man, 21 people are watching this piffle. Thanks, guys. Did I ever tell you about like how my dad used to be a building inspector for the city of West Vancouver?
Probably.
And there's this tradition that when the building inspector, the building inspector was on site, he would get out of his car and he would go and do the inspection. And during his inspection, one of the workmen would drop a bottle of Crown Royal onto the passenger side of his car. I guess it was supposed to be grift or something, but never really worked. But my dad didn't really drink the Crown Royal, so he ended up with all these bottles. So he gave me a couple at one point, and those are like I think the first bottles of whiskey I ever owned was Crown Royal. Um, and it's funny because Crown did not turn me into a whiskey nerd in any way. My gateway whiskey was the Lagavulin 16. That's a nice color.
No lumps.
No lumps. No lumps. No lumps.
Look at the
no
head
lumps.
on that.
Look at that. Pretty.
Here's Jim.
Yeah, he says, my son gave me a fake K-bar. Oh,
Damn it.
all right. Are we talking now? I thought I just heard talk about something similar to a K-bar. Yeah, Russell was showing off his Rambo knife. Excuse me, his first blade was an epee foil. Okay, fair enough.
I like
My
that.
son,
Damn it.
my son gave me a fake K-bar and I pretty much destroyed it trying to baton. Yep. Yeah.
Sorry, we're comment fighting.
Yeah.
Um,
I'm gonna
that's
click on
that
the
would
one
be
below that.
Jim. That would make a great video,
Yeah,
honestly.
it would be. Wham, wham, wham. Oh, piss. My son bought me this.
I, you know what what would be funny, and I'm gonna do a video shortly that's gonna kind of be very different than my normal video, but it's like these brand. I get contacted like daily by brands, wanting me to show off their stuff, and I'm just dying to call. Some of them are just okay. I can tell you about one right now. I mean, Husk Knives with two U's, oddly enough. I
Husk.
got contacted by this marketing company on behalf of Husk Knives, and I looked at the website and I was like, "This is bullshit."
Husk?
And now I want to say, like, yeah, absolutely. Send me some of those knives because I'm going to baton the fuck out of them and just
Yeah.
destroy them. And it turned out they're a whole scam. And they're hand forged in Japan. And, I looked at their website where they're talking about the hand forging in Japan. And you got this Japanese guy at the forge, looking at this knife. And I'm like,
Yeah.
that's stock footage, man. That's stock, you know.
Yeah. Um,
But it'd be fun to
they
just say, yeah, I'll accept that. Destroy it. Sorry, Jess, I keep
wreck it.
interrupting.
But aren't they like kitchen knives? Oh, yeah, I know what they
Yes.
are. Yeah, yeah, yeah. Nope. Nope. That is not a. Yeah. And there's a picture of the guy, hand making the knives. It's like, no.
Yep.
Yeah, no, 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 no.
Yeah, well,
Yeah,
I emailed the marketer back because it wasn't the Husk that contacted me; it was the marketing company. I said, you're out of your fucking mind. Like literally, you're out of your fucking mind because you're not. You gotta, this place is a total scam. You gotta do some
yeah, it's
vetting.
not. Yeah, you gotta vet who you're. Oh, Elaine says I bought a survival knife from Schrade, which has a hollow handle, but it's one piece. Oh, it's one piece.
That's interesting.
Yeah,
That's very interesting.
that is very interesting. It's the S. I'm gonna keep track of. Oh, piss. That's not what I meant to do.
Are you googling it now, or am I
Well, I
doing
was
it?
going to, but I'm just messing everything up because I'm trying to do three things at once. But I'm gonna remember what he said later.
I'm on it. I'm on it.
SCHF2SM. Steve Meto says it's 66 Fahrenheit at his cabin. I have no idea what that is in real degrees. Did you find it?
I did, but I came to the reviews instead of the. Hold on.
Homie is Sly Steel Spectre is your modern day Rambo knife. My first was a buck knife. Buck man shows up in a lot of people's. I'm gonna start that again. Buck shows up in a lot of mentions as people's first sort of serious knives. Yeah.
I'm looking for. You'd think the website would come up first. Like,
Elaine sent me two pictures in Facebook chat. Let me see if I can find it. Of course, my phone is in bedtime mode, so it's not giving me any.
it's discontinued.
What? Oh, yeah, I know that one. Yeah, 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 yeah. Look at that. Looks really solid. Look at all the knurling on that handle.
Oh, that's very interesting. Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Look. Let me show this.
Are you? Hold on, Jess.
So he's got it opened up. It looks
so
very.
does does something come inside it, Alan? Like
Like,
or do you,
yeah,
is it just
like a
open for you
little.
to put some stuff in?
The thing is, if it came with a little survival kit, wouldn't you want to replace the survival kit with something you put
Oh,
together anyway?
Oh, okay. Here we go. Hold on. So this shows a screwdriver
What?
kit. So there's the bits, and then the end of it, you put the bit in the end, and you got a screwdriver.
That has to be a like an after, like not aftermarket, but like a purchase you can make later. Because
This
Alain's
is
picture didn't show that.
this is Knife Center, so they're selling this thing. There's the sheath.
Was it expensive, Alain? I believe Russell Pam is asking you if you're going to do some parody videos. I think
Discontinue.
sort of riffing off what you were saying about those crappy knives.
Oh, like husk knives? No, no. I've been offered a product. I don't want to talk about it too much just yet because I'm still kind of working with the company to get the product. But I want to talk about.
Oh,
Were you going to interrupt me? You're going to interrupt me, weren't you?
I was just going to show this while you were talking. It's just Alain saying that it did come with the screwdriver bits, but yeah, sorry, keep going.
Well, I'm actually curious about that now. Like, does the whole inside come out? Like, because it's also got the rod for the screwdriver bits to go on the end. Does that come out as well? Anyway, yeah, I'm talking to a company now, but they're gonna send me a product, and I have to do a review video for it. But then I'm gonna talk about how the whole influencer marketing thing is a bit of a sham in a separate video.
Mm.
You know,
Yeah,
influencers talking about products and they have no idea what they're talking about.
right.
And there's a huge rabbit hole to go down. And I kind of went down it on the weekend, you know, looking at some of these companies that are offering products, and it's like, oh my God, the stuff that I've seen, you will not believe it. But I'm saving it for a
I
video.
I have not yet been approached by a company that I want to work with.
Oh, sure. For every 50 emails, 49 are, I'm not going to work with them. That's stupid.
Yeah, yeah. I
But
mean, I realize that my numbers aren't going to get me Jackery or someone like that, but like I still have not been approached by anyone that. And some of these marketing, like it's like they've got their interns looking for people to try and get on board. Because like sometimes I'll get these messages about stuff, and I'm like, you have done the step of watching one of my videos before contacting me, right? Because it's like the weirdest, car seats for children kind of thing. And I'm actually, I pulled that example out of the ether, but that would actually work really well because I talk about my kids all the time. So shut up, Jesse. But
well, I no, I know what you're saying. Like for me, it's like colored pencils. Hey, would you like to review our colored pencils? Well, first of
yeah,
all,
can I shave them and
no.
start a fire with them?
And second of all, you know, are you paying me? No? Okay, well, I fail to see how your $19 colored pencils are going to be enough value for my time.
This whiskey is too good. I got this is my last dram. Oop,
No, it's not.
that that was an energetic dram. Hey, um, I recently read something that is of interest because of a conversation that you and I recently had online with David about what constitutes a dram. And
Okay.
I just shot a video, which is up on my other channel, about about this
Butte?
about this, and the thing is, the the bottle is divided, right, into, okay, it's on their website or somewhere, that a serving is 1.5. It comes out to 1.5 ounces, and there are like 17 servings in a bottle, or whatever the hell it is. But I remember it being
Okay.
1.5 ounces because we were having this whole conversation about what constitutes a dram. And for some people, a dram is like 3/4 of an ounce, and that's sort of what I've been aiming for, so that I'm not like downing tons and tons of whiskey. But the bottle is divided into 1.5 ounce servings. So Alain, by the way, paid 111 for that knife in 18. Oh, it's 1070 steel. Okay.
Interesting.
Yeah, I've never touched it, but it looks like it would have some girth to it, some weight to it.
It's Pam, you're absolutely right. These companies, especially like Jack Green Blue Eddy, they're like, okay, we're gonna do a promotion, so we're gonna hit every single channel in this
Except me.
sphere.
Yeah.
Well, Jess, you're selling yourself short. You need to contact these companies. I mean,
Yeah.
City Girl she did 2 promotional videos recently, and her channel's smaller than yours. She did the Blue Eddy, a small Blue Eddy power station, and then she did the solar panels.
How the hell did she approach them for that?
She didn't. They approached her.
Yeah.
But there's nothing wrong with you emailing them and saying, "Hey, I'd like to review one of your products." Yeah, you could actually use a power station.
Yeah, that's true. I could use a power station.
I got so many I can't get rid of them. That's a lie. They're easy to sell.
Yeah, I was gonna say, if you can't get rid of them, you have a problem. Oh, for you, Russell. Here's a picture of the
The screwdriver set.
yeah,
Okay,
the
so
screwdriver setup.
yeah, and then he puts a kit. Said he puts
Yep.
a kit in it. Got it. All right, I'll be right back.
All right. All right. In the meantime, excuse me, it says single malt scotch. I love it. Yes, I do as well. Possibly too much. It's an expensive freaking hobby to have, guys. Scotch, holy snap. Like if you guys decide to get into whiskey, scotch is like the pinnacle. But if you don't want to spend too much money, go for bourbon. Because the bourbons that are as expensive as scotch is like, $200 or whatever, don't bother. Bourbon is a blunt object compared to scotch. I'm saying that as someone who has a lot of bourbon, by the way, and I love it in a different way than I love scotch. There are some nights when I'm like, I'm having myself a scotch, like I'm having tonight, and there are some nights when what I want, especially like after supper, it's got to be bourbon. That caramelly goodness, the sharp notes that come from like new American oak. So it's like vanilla, but it's vanilla with a bite to it, But like, you can't get sucked in by the Blantons and all that stuff. These bottles that are going for $300 in jurisdictions where there's no price control, because it's a $70 bottle kind of thing, I'm not going to reduce another live stream to a whiskey live stream. That's all I'm going to say about it.
I refuse to believe that.
Yeah, especially because there are more questions popping up. Serving size on a liquor bottle sounds like a suggestion. Yeah, no, it's just saying that what like an official dram is 1.5 ounces. Yeah. What do I think of Glenlivet? It's okay. I have a couple of Glenlivet bottles in there. What I like, I said I wouldn't have a whiskey live stream tonight, and then people are asking questions. What I like in whiskey is very simple. It's not very simple. I'm freaking lying to you, but I like it to be above 45% alcohol by volume, and a lot of whiskey is down around 40 because that's the minimum you can sell at and call it whiskey. And a lot of the Glenlivet stuff is around 40, but I've got one in there that's quite good. I don't remember what it's called. So
Oh, you're playing with your blanket again.
yeah, I am.
TikTok is there something else?
Is making me think.
Play with.
TikTok has me thinking that I'm all like, whatever they call neurodivergent and stuff, because there's all these people with like ADHD and like autism and stuff. And like, I do this. And I'm like,
hold on,
shut up. Stop talking.
Holy crap, that's an actual word, neurodivergent.
It's not a word I believe in. It's sort of like the big term for.
Hold on. I gotta. Allow me to read this. The term neurodivergent describes people whose brain differences affect how their brain works.
Yeah. Brain differences affect how their brain works. Okay. Okay. That makes sense. That makes perfect sense, right? Yeah.
Hey, you know what? We should invent a term for this because my brain works different than yours. So let's invent a word for this.
What people on the ticking of talks
And
are
I just saw the movies Divergent, Invergent, Advergent.
invergent.
So we're going to use that. Sorry, Jess. Go ahead.
Oh, okay, here's something weird. Country boy, country boy isn't here. Country boy trapped in the city.
Yeah. I haven't seen him in ages.
Well, here's the thing, because he pinged me the other day and said I can't comment, and I said well, that's weird, and I sort of looked at the settings and I saw nothing weird. What's going on? Is he on a ban list or something? I didn't ban anyone.
Playing with that blankie again.
Sorry. Yeah, the thing is the
I
touch thing. Like TikTok has me thinking, oh my god, I must be country boy trapped
no,
in the
you're
city.
we fidget with things. It's human nature. Country boat. Scott. I haven't seen him in ages, but I don't remember a live stream where he was banned by anyone.
We got to
So he
figure this
messaged.
out.
So he
Yeah,
messaged. Okay, so all right, go to studio.
yeah,
Go down to settings. Go to
yeah.
community.
I'm
Scroll
lost.
down a little bit, and you'll get hidden users. I have like 2,000 in my list.
But
I,
if I go to studio now, am I gonna pop myself out of the?
no, oh, I don't use the tab.
I'm just letting them know that I'm trying to figure it out. Oh, I totally misspelled figure, but anyway.
No, you're good. You're good.
I
I'm
don't get it.
gonna.
Okay,
There's
Alain
Marcel.
asked me another booze question. Here's a question for why are most whiskeys, rums, etc. 40% and not more? I rarely find anything more. Is there some law to stop it at 40? Or is it because they are cheap and don't put more? Okay, so Alain, the minimum ABV you can have and still call your booze a whiskey. I'm not sure about rums because rums in several ways are the Wild West. I believe it's the same for rums, but there's a lot of lawsuits happening in rum right now because of mislabeling and stuff. To be labeled whiskey anywhere in the world, it has to be 40%. Okay? So if you see a bottle that says 40%, they're doing the minimum work for your money. A lot of Macallan is 40%, a lot of whatever. Some companies will do 43%. There's a lot of 43% around there. That's just them saying, at least we're not doing the minimum. To me, I'm only happy at 45% or above. So that's bottles by outfits like Aaron. Bruichladdich is almost always 50. That's a lie. It's often 50. Aaron is often 50. And stuff like that. The reason you see a lot of bottles around 40 is because that's what are you drinking, Russell? Miller Genuine Draft after those beautiful beers that you.
Runs into the dregs.
Oh,
Look how
I see.
light that
Okay.
is. Oh
Yeah.
my god,
Excuse me.
that's lighter than my pee right now.
Okay.
That's
I'm glad to know that.
FYI.
TMI. I just feel so close to you right now, Russell. Um,
We've been closer.
I didn't realize that I spent an hour in your headset-y thing playing with Darth Vader. I thought it was like 15 minutes. That's nuts.
Oh, it's a great game though.
Yeah.
Oh, they should have a new. I want to say a new chapter out.
Do they?
They should. I mean, it's been long enough. I haven't checked. I haven't used it in a while. But what a great game, my God. When you're in that little ship at the beginning and you're trying to figure out the controls and you look up and this huge ship is coming over top and you're like, oh, Jesus. The
5 minutes
Star
of
Destroyer.
that turned me from an absolute VR skeptic to like, I gotta get this. Um, hold on. Hold on a second. Oh, there's Carol. Hi, Carol.
Krrr,
Oh,
krrr,
Carol. Carol.
krrr, krrr,
Hello,
krrr,
Carol.
krrr.
One of us is gonna watch this when we're sober and be like, "What are we doing? What's going on here?"
Neither of us are going to watch this one. We're sober. It's too
No,
embarrassing.
never mind. Yeah. Homie Omi says, I told the owner of Sly Steel that I would review the knife. Gonna need your help making a video. I gotta go back to the video when you talked about cameras. Sure. Drop me drop me a note somewhere, and I'll.
So, homie, are you getting anything out of that or are you just making a video for fun? I mean, either way. I'm just curious. No, you don't.
I think
Okay, you don't need Jess's help, homie. There are a million knife review videos out there. Just copy the format. You know, the unboxing, the specs. Here's how I tested it.
you know who does a really good knife review video. Rain Dance Bushcraft. Actually, you know who does a really good knife review video, but like it's way too much production, is Dutch Bushcraft Knives. Those guys, look, they come across as absolute yahoos, but the fact is they know their stuff, right? So they're like fun and games, but they've done the work to really know what they're talking about. So it's not just a goofy couple of guys messing around. Like it is a goofy guys messing around, but there's the knife knowledge is there. So if you want to know, thing is, when I would do a, gonna start that again because I blew the consonants and the syllables and everything. What I wanted to say was, when I do a knife review, I don't go extreme because when I'm in the woods, I'm not using a knife to the extreme, right? I'm never going to be cutting my way out of a helicopter. Do you know what I'm saying? Like, I'm never going to be, I don't have to push it to the end and beyond. When I'm doing a knife review, I use the knife in the tasks that I see it having to fulfill if I'm out in the woods for a couple of days, right? So I'm going to do some carving. I'm going to do some batoning, but not with a cold steel Canadian belt knife. I'm going to be doing like all those. I'm going to use the back of it for a fire rod, ferro rod, see if it works. Dutch Bushcraft knives. These guys are going to be cutting through, a rope that's this big around because they are really trying to push the knives to the end. So if you want like a really good knife review, in terms of like push this thing to the edge of what it can do, those guys are who you want to watch. If you just want to see how well a knife will hold up to standard camp chores, I do that. Some other guys do that. Their names are escaping me because honestly, I'm on my fourth one of these. But you know, look up knife review on YouTube, and you will find someone who is going where you want to go with your own knife reviews, and just sort of copy them. Having a good camera is great. Having an iPhone and good sound is better. So I'm gonna say. But yeah, you can text me and I'll talk your ear off.
Okay, I have two things to say. First of all, you're clicking a lot tonight, so something has reversed itself in your setup. But and I wouldn't troubleshoot it now, Jess. But second thing is, I think it's hilarious when you misuse your words and you stop and you kind of correct yourself, because those segments are getting longer and longer and longer as I've known you. And I can totally see you going, okay, I'm going to start that again. My name is Jess. I have been drinking. And when the stars are not in alignment, I'm going to say things out of order. And, way back in the womb, I knew trouble was coming because I could feel that in my mind, in the future someday, I would mix up words and syllables and language because, French and English is difficult. It's like language and shit. And, and 15 minutes later, you'll be like, anyway, what was I saying?
That is weird, mister. I wonder why I'm clicking. I'm not touching anything, but I do wonder why I'm clicking all of a sudden. I think you're weird, okay, with your like little weirdnesses. Is weirdnesses even a weird
Who,
a
me?
word? Oh my snap.
Are you talking to me?
No, I'm just talking into the ether.
I have lots of weirdnesses.
I thought that 40% was the maximum that could be sold in Quebec. No. I have a couple of bottles where I think the SAQ tests the ABV. I have a couple of bottles where the ABV is scratched out, and then there's I was about to say Hydro Quebec. Shut up, Jesse. An SAQ sticker put on that is like, a different ABV.
Soon when he misspeaks, he's going back to the womb. You know it.
Pam says the clicking is probably from the static buildup in the blanket, and suddenly Jesse gets really paranoid about the blanket.
It could be. It could be, Pam. I was thinking the same thing, actually.
Really? That's now I can't touch the blanket, but I want to be warm.
The blanket is around you. How can you not touch it?
Now I'm touching. It's a toga. Oh, maybe. Do you think it might be a static?
Yeah. I think that's what you say.
No, okay, I won't touch the blanket, except that I can't not touch the blanket. Oh my god.
Do you have like a sweater you can put on or something?
Yeah, but it's upstairs somewhere. I'm afraid to move. I don't want to click and clack. Were we talking about something?
Yes.
There was that, yeah.
Okay. Can we talk about that?
Yeah. Oh, Tim is home. Wide open freeway with a gorgeous sunset. I like it. Kristen's not hearing static right now, but I'm not moving.
I was hearing it. Christy's probably drunk.
Yeah, but
by the way, Christy, I'm gonna message you about something. Nope, she's not on Discord. I just can't. They're right.
Little comment just between you and Christy and everyone watching right now.
Isn't it funny when people do that? I'm gonna DM you. Of course, they're gonna see the DM, so
yeah.
Right.
I gotta figure out why Country Boy can't get in here. Like, can't drop comments.
We can troubleshoot it offline. I mean, it's got to be in your ban list.
But why would he be in my ban list? I mean, he's, as far as I'm concerned, in good standing. He's never done anything wrong. Country Boy, if you're still watching, we're gonna figure this out because I cannot see why you would not be able to comment.
Yeah, I haven't seen Country Boy on Discord in a while either. So did he take off from Discord?
No, Discord is where he's asking me what's going on.
But he's not. If he's still Country Boy on Discord, he's not showing in the regular user list.
Country Boy, I mean, he makes good contributions generally. Anyways, okay, we won't like we won't derail the entire.
Can we make fun of this for a second? Might want to work.
Absolutely not drunk. No, officer, I drive better when I've been drinking.
That's what I do at work all the time. I dibbaloo.
I deblod. To deblod or not to deblod? That is the question. We're making fun of someone. That's terrible.
Diblood. Oh no, it's Christy. It's okay.
Um, Jim says, that was serious. I get Russell saying when he's been talking about weird. I don't know what that means. Tabersnooch. I'm just clicking and clicking. I'm trying to get to. Tim says he's gonna get back on Discord after Christy gets home. He's looking forward to catching up. I'm trying not to click anything because everything's going off the rails. Christy says yes, it's okay. All right, cool. Thanks, Chris. I know. Russell is tipping and tapping. Oh, it's 11 already. Okay, let's go to 11:15 because I'm having a blast here. Should we do like a quick poll? Who thinks we should go to 11:15? No, because the poll would take
Yes.
longer than you think.
The pool. I wish
The
you could do
pool?
polls in your channel.
Hold on. Start a poll. Should we go until 11:30? Because 11:15 will be here very soon. And we got to give them time to vote. Am I right? Piss on a biscuit. That's not where the question mark goes. I'm leaving this open for 5 minutes. It's currently 11:02. So 5 minutes means I'm close. I'm ending it at like profit. It's only
glass.
10 where Pam lives. It's only 8 where Christian lives.
Damn.
Homie Omi says, no, I mean the tech part. Okay. I'm actually a professional knife video watcher. Yeah, Dutch Butchcraft knives make it good. Yeah, exactly. Silly but funny, but they know what they're talking about.
That's one of the things I'm going to talk about in the video I'm going to do is like so many YouTubers will talk about products, but they really have no authority to talk about those products. They're not experts in them. There's very few YouTubers, like Chris Prouse does solar power and batteries and stuff like that, and he knows what he's talking about. Most of the rest of us, if we're talking about power stations, we don't know what we're talking about. I mean, I'm a solar power expert, but to really review those power stations means to take them apart or to test them, to run them through, and it's hard work, and you really got to know what you're talking about.
I tried to write for a magazine called Base Gear. Okay, I wrote a review of my my Fender P bass that I think is a pretty good review, which I should probably post somewhere so that people can see it. Right now, it's in my writing portfolio, which I never use anymore because I'm not freelancing anymore. But at Base Gear, if they're reviewing an amp or something, these guys get into like, here's the frequency, this and that, like with frequency graphs and stuff.
Yeah.
And I don't love that, although I can see why it would be very useful for a certain segment of the market. Okay, like it's a very engineering way to approach a review, and it's interesting to a certain segment of the readership. But to the guy who's standing on stage or in a studio and just like funking it up, he's not going to care about that stuff. And so I'm never sure when I'm doing a review how deep to go. I mean, I haven't done reviews in a long time. I used to do them professionally, but I haven't done them in a long time. But like, I don't know how deep to go. Like, for a house solar energy system, it might be very useful to have that. But for a jackery that someone's going to use on a canoe trip, is that depth of knowledge something that they will find useful?
I,
And I don't know.
I'll tell you what. I'll tell you what though. And I do know actually. Um, I saw a review of a product. In fact, it wasn't a power station, but it was similar. And the product on the website listed a lithium, battery. And the people that got the product and looked at the battery said it doesn't say lithium anywhere on this battery.
Oh, so
It
you
has
don't
to
know
say
what it
lithium.
is.
Like it's you have to say what kind of battery it is on the label, right?
Right.
And so, and
Because if not,
you
who the
know,
hell knows what it is?
I mean, I go back to days when you bought an external hard drive, and discovered, hey, it's got way less storage than it should have, and then people are opening it up and finding just a USB stick on the inside, right? You know,
Yeah.
that had not even a tenth of the space of a real hard drive. You know, because and it worries me because if I review say an e-bike that purports to have a battery like this, and I open it up
Yep.
and it's got double A's in there.
One of the guys I work with has an e-bike that I would dearly love to have. They're expensive, but they're made in Vancouver and they're made to CSA compliance and all that stuff.
Can you yeah, can you send me the name of that company, please?
Yeah.
It doesn't have to be
I
right now. Well, actually, it probably has to be right now because you're not going to remember.
I'll remember. Sort of.
I wouldn't remember that I asked. Or what are the
I
best
think they're
ones on
called
the Sigmar
Volt Bike.
knives that I have
Yes.
to
Here we go. I'm dropping this in
Volt
the
bike,
side chat because I want everyone to know about them.
Volt
Um,
bike. Okay.
voltbike.com. They're based in Vancouver. Um, that's not what I meant to do.
Yeah.
Oh, but it's a
Yeah.
good comment. I was going to do that later. Later.
Okay.
Uh, I like this. Um,
It's very apt.
the thing is, Jim, I don't think you should tear it down to just one. I think if you like playing with knives and going out into the woods is giving you the opportunity to do that, then
It's
let your freak flag fly.
it's yeah, but there's also a weight problem, right?
Yes, and I deal with that weight problem way more because I'm like, I don't know how many axes I'm gonna bring this weekend, but it's gonna be lots. Um,
Lots.
what
Sorry.
I do for knives is I have a food prep knife, which is a mini Nesmic, which I love dearly. I have my normal belt knife, and then I'll have like a Mora in my bag just in case something happens to my main belt knife. That
Sorry.
what's going on, Russell?
I'll tell you when we hit the green room later.
Okay, so that's the thing. Like you gotta have at least one other knife. If you got your belt knife, you gotta have at least one other knife just in case. I am sold on the idea of your food prep knife being a separate knife in your bag for two reasons. A, more knives equals more fun. But no, on a more serious note, a guy I used to know whose channel, I don't remember what his channel used to be,
Channel,
but he used to call
channel you
himself,
used to know. Doop, doop.
now you're just um,
Now you're just a
he used
channel
to do a
that I
lot of,
used to know.
I know where you were going, and I'm trying not to join in. Um, he used this guy whose name is now different online, so what's the point of giving you his old name? He's based in Edinburgh, and he went on a stealth camp, and he's videoing a stealth camp, and he was, I don't know, for some reason he cut a poisonous mushroom to show you the blah blah blah, and then he just used that knife for food prep and ended up sick as hell, fortunately not dying, but in the hospital because he'd used his his regular knife. He only brought one knife with him. It's like a whatever. And so to me, the food prep knife and the playing around with wood and stuff knife are different knives. Because I'm not the type to go near a mushroom anyway because I'm not good enough at foraging. But if you want to minimize, I would still keep the food prep knife and the fun knife separate.
Yep.
Separate. I kind of feel like I need to butterfly this or something. But, anyways, that's what I got to say about that. But I still think, dude, if you want to bring a bunch of knives and play with them in all kinds of different contexts, and it's not like causing you weight issues, like if you were doing that with axes, have fun. That's what the woods are for bushcrafters, right? We're not like if you're a survivalist, survivalism is, or whatever it's called. Yeah, survivalism is camping by accident, whereas bushcraft is forest bathing. So, am I like really late on the comments now?
I love the term forest bathing.
Yeah, me too. There's something elemental and Japanese about that.
And whiskey bathing as well. I'll be right back.
Okay, I will bathe in whiskey while you're gone. Excuse me, says good old fashioned hunting knife can't go wrong. Yeah, true. Absolutely. Alain says DBK designed a fantastic knife. I know, but I don't think I can afford it. I saw the DBK knife and I was enchanted by it because it's a very modern looking knife, but it looks like they, without using the word look too often, it seems like they looked at all the knives that they have ever reviewed and said, now if we could take all of these and distill it down to what we would really like, that's the knife we would want. I would have died for that knife, but I seem to remember it being. How much did it cost? And that's such a crass thing to ask, but it's because I can't remember what it cost, but it seemed like it was too rich for my blood at the time. And today that might not, like the price might not have scared me off as much if it's sort of where I thought it was. But I thought it was around the $500 or $600 mark. Am I right about that? It was very expensive. Yeah. Okay. Oh, I forgot to shut down my poll at 11:07. Oops. Did I end the poll? Yes. So everyone says I should go to 11:30, which is fine because we're at 11:12 now. Yeah, it was very expensive. That's too bad. Because the thing is, oh, holy crap, €450. So did that turn into a $600 purchase in Canada? Yeah, Destiny says the poll has spoken. I get it. Yes, I understand. We're gonna go until 11:30. Pam has an Opinel that she uses for food prep when camping. The wife and I, and in fact her eldest daughter, all have Opinel number 8s for as our food knives when we're camping.
Wow.
Spectacular choice. Your taste, Pam, is unassailable. Absolutely. The Opinel is it's so, oh my god, it's one of my favorite knives of all time. Not in terms of bushcrafting and batoning and stuff, but as a food prep knife, and as like just a very very basic camp knife. The old school, I don't know, the design philosophy is fantastic because you open it up and you twist the, like there's a ring you twist and it locks. It's unique. It feels ancient when you use it, or at least not ancient, but old school. They're very thin. It's not a robust blade at all, but when you get it sharpened up, man, you can shave with it. There's just there's an old school magic to the Opinel number 8, in my opinion. Just because that's my favorite size. They come in many different sizes, but the number 8 is the one that I've really sort of honed in on.
Jess, do you need
Just
a
a
towel or something?
because do you have an Opinel?
No, I'm just saying the way you're talking there. I think you need a towel.
Dude, they cost like chocolate bar money practically. You got to buy one. Everyone has to have at least one Opinel, preferably the number 8. But yeah, good choice. The thing is, I mean, I live in French Canada, right? So we have this thing about like French Canada, maybe specifically Quebec, self colonizes like you wouldn't believe, right? If it's big in Paris, it is big in Quebec, huh? And so maybe I'm affected by that, and like Opinel is very French, but my Opinel, which is in my camping stuff, because it's not a bushcrafty knife to me very much. I get a
But
real. It gives me the fizz when I take it out, even though it's a
can
simple,
can
cheap
you put it
knife.
on
12
screen?
bucks.
Put it on screen.
Uh, yeah, let me find one. You'll recognize it as soon as it. Oh, piss! I misspelled it.
I will, or people watching will.
I think everyone will. I think you'll recognize it. I think everyone will. They also do like
I
kitchen
don't know if I
knives.
will.
Our steak knives are Opinel. Hello, we think you're in North America. Get the best experience and visit Opinel USA. Whatever. I don't care. I don't care. I just
Oh,
want to show the
don't you
knife.
hate that?
Yeah, I gotta do. Okay, their website's garbage. Okay, hold on. No, it's working. It's working. Folding knives, and of course it comes in stainless or carbon. I prefer carbon, but that doesn't necessarily. The number 8. Huh? I am going to share the screen
Okay,
as soon as I figure out how. Why are you sharing the screen?
because it's
Why you gotta
you.
be like? God, I'm trying to share a screen here, but you're just making it hard. You're just making it hard. Okay, Russell, do you recognize this?
It may have been something you showed before. I guess.
Look at the price. Okay, that's an American dog. Wow, they've gone up in price. Dog, I bought my A number 8s at like 16
Dog.
Canadian.
Who are you calling a dog?
That's a birch handle. DAWG. Dog. You know, hip hop and dog. Fabulous knife. Sharp as shift when it arrives. Thin
What
not
kind of?
thin blades though. Like it's not a robust thing, hey? You're not going to be carving wood.
I guess I don't know.
Terrific pocket knife. The handle is perfectly. It's one of those knives where it reminds me a little bit of the Canadian belt knife. In that it looks kind of like who cares, but in the hand when you're using it, fantabulous. Why is that there?
No reason.
I'm trying to have a serious live stream and everything is getting ruined.
Come on, that's pretty.
That is me with my very French tone of face. Tone of face. What?
I like it.
I
Tone
mean,
of face.
tone of face. You know, it's very French.
There's honeybee.
Oh, honeybee's showing up like after I'm supposed to have gone off already. Nice to see ya. Hold on. Bum bum
And
bum
lurking.
bum 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 bum.
Anybody, have you seen this wonderful pose?
Uh, okay. Excuse me. It says, "What is the best knife I own?"
The number one.
I think
I cut him with that.
there's a magic to that knife. I don't think it's legit the best knife I own, but it's really it's got an old school Canadiana feel that I really love. The
Hold on.
best knife I own?
Hold on. Just ask me what's the best knife I own.
What's the best knife you own? Number 1. Number 4? What do you
Sorry, I'm doing your face. You cut us. No, okay, go ahead, Jess. So
It's hard to say what the straight up best knife I own is. There are I can tell you what my favorite knife for context versus B context. X versus B. What's in this stuff? I
Who
have
knows?
an Australian woodlore clone knife that I love because it was my first serious bushcraft knife. It's by this guy named Jed Campbell. He seems to no longer make knives, which makes me sad. I have the only one that ever came to Canada. There might have been one more, but at the time when I bought it, it was the only one coming to Canada. There were like 3 in the States or something. Excuse me. O1 tool steel, simple as hell to sharpen, but keeps an edge. Very basic, very. It's just it's got the woodlore magic to it, except it doesn't really have the Coke bottle handle. It's sort of more squared off. But I kind of feel that like my absolute best knife might be my Fjallraven. I just blew the pronunciation on that because Scotch
The
is
F1.
terrible for pronunciation. My Fjallraven F1.
Alain picked it. All right.
Yeah, because the thing is, it's a classic for a good reason. They're not pretty. They're not pretty, but they're beautifully designed. Absolutely. And that was the one that really told me that I have to figure out how the hell to deal with a convex grind.
Mm-hmm.
I like my Gromans though, like my number 1 and my number 4. Different context though. The fit and finish is nowhere near what like a really high end knife is, but it doesn't have to be because that's not what the magic is, right? Their pixie dust isn't high end fit and finish. It's old school Canadiana. Yeah. Look at that.
It's yeah. I'd have to go for the number 4 over the number 1. That's it.
And I think that if I wasn't what Pine Martin once, Pine Martin, hello, okay, and one more time with feeling, Pine Martin once called me a romantic, and that element of me that he was like honing in on is what makes me prefer the number 1. But I think if I was just to go with usability, the number 4 would have to be
Well,
the one that I would go for.
the number 1 is just a better everyday carry because it's so light. But
Mm-hmm.
if you're heading off to the bush, then it's the number 4 for sure.
Now, the number
Hands
4,
down.
I believe, is supposed to be more of a survival knife. Am I correct? Like, I don't remember because so much whiskey.
And
But,
well, what is design called? I mean, the shape of the knife. There's a name for that, right?
well, here's the thing. To me, that blade shape is reminiscent of a Nesmuk, but not quite. Hold on a second. I'm trying to. Oh my land! I typed in GRO, and
Oh shit,
it
that's
just
actually taken off
immediately
there.
finished to Groman knives. So this is under hunting knives, right? Yeah, the number 4 is their survival knife, which is why it's so much bigger and more robust than the number 1. But I love
Oh
sort of
yeah.
the classic design. I like the F1 because it's like the old school, the
Well,
most basic one.
where's my F1? Oh shit, I took it off.
You gotta
Yeah,
find it, man.
I took it off. I took it off because I went back to the city today, and last time I saw my family doctor, I scared the shit out of her. Like, where are you
Oh,
leaving the
because
knife?
you still had your.
I'm like, yeah, I live in the bush.
Yeah,
That's city folk people talking, right?
yeah.
The number 1 is just such an awesome design, and I use this all the time as well. Like I carved a branch for my new spiderweb catcher on the ATV today, and it's like it's
It's an
such.
ideal. It's so. But you know what's my biggest surprise? You know what was my. Yes, yes. It really was. My biggest surprise is this.
The sheath, isn't it? That's
I'm
a
trying
sheath.
not to unsheath knives when I've had booze. This. First of all, stainless steel, which is not my favorite. I prefer carbon, but this Garberg, this Mora Garberg, right? Full tang. When this first came out, I was like $100 for a Mora. So I spent it anyway and sold on this. The Garberg is Mora finally really, really putting out something big, big deal. That big. Oh snap! You know what I'm saying, though, right?
You're
We're
going back to
okay.
the
We're all
womb.
friends
Are you
here.
going back to the womb?
Going back to the womb. It all started when I was 4 minutes
I
old.
I screwed that up. I really screwed that up. Okay, I'm going to start this again. We're going back to the womb.
But excuse me. Also asked what's the most expensive knife I own, and I think it is the F1.
Yeah, for me, it's the S1.
Oh, you got the S1. Snap.
Yeah, I've showed it to you many times. Several
Several
many
many
times.
times. Yeah.
Yep. I never use it
But
because it's so expensive, and I'm afraid
yeah,
it's well, it's the convex edge. I don't know how to sharpen it, or I have no experience sharpening convex edge, so I'm afraid of it.
yeah. I'm also afraid of it as well. I'm.
Damn.
You know what I'm saying. I sharpen it with a mouse pad, and the Dutch bushcraft knives guys would kill me for doing that. What you got there?
A credit card. Christy's calling for credit cards.
Whoa, 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 whoa! What's going on? What am I missing here? Don't take out your credit card. Oh, for God's sakes! Don't take out your credit card. Put it back. Put it back. We've had some drinks. We're not buying stuff.
I, okay.
Hold on. Oh, snap!
Ship burglars. We need David here. He'd talk us into it.
Yes. Alain says the F1. Yes, absolutely. I love the F1, and it's funny because it's it's everything I don't like in a knife, but there's something in that design. Like I don't love convex. It's convex. I don't love like I'm into wooden handles. Okay, that's what I like. It's whatever their rubberized plastic is called. I like a
Zydex or something? It's Zyda.
well, I think Zytel is their sheath, right?
Zyta. Uh,
Right. I
yeah, I have
like
the
a
same thing.
leather sheath. Theirs is that plasticky Zytel, but there's something about specifically the F1, and there's an F1X now, which is way more high tech. But there's something about that F1 that gets me where I live. And in fact, I bought my F1 secondhand. Excuse me, says that you have a
Yeah,
badass knife.
it's
Yeah,
the not a very exciting looking knife. So this is the S1. Oh, it's got some use
yeah.
on there too.
It's got that sort of the swedge on the top and everything. It's
And
a
and
very
the and,
different.
and the F1 is just a smaller version of this, really,
The
right?
F1 is a way more basic, right? It's your basic. It was probably their first
Oh,
knife,
I mean,
you know.
so
And I think
like
that's a
I've
little
got a pretty
longer
big
too.
hand. I got a pretty big
Yeah.
hand, but the handle is long enough to,
Is
you
that
know.
a 5-inch blade? It seems longer to me than the F1.
No, it's longer than 5 inches. God, we're gonna have this conversation every freaking time I pull this out, aren't we?
Yeah, pretty much.
It's a oh
And
nope 5 inch.
evidently, you were
Right.
prepared for the conversation because you have a tape measure right there. What'd you say it was?
Five
Five and a
inch.
half?
Yeah, it is.
5 inch?
No,
Okay, yeah.
five. Yep. I don't think it's 5.
Oh,
Might be. Yeah.
Destiny says, Bonsoir tout le monde for me and my Walmart knife. Thank you for the live tonight. Bisous. All right, good night.
Good. Actually, that's 5 1/4.
5 1/4.
If my glasses are not lying to me.
I
Yeah.
love
No.
it. Alain has a knockoff F1 because he couldn't afford the real one after dropping all his money on the DPK knife.
Hmm.
But I kind of like that knife you got. Like, why did you
Yeah.
buy that?
This one.
Yeah.
I wanted a really good knife, and I did a lot of research online, which really meant looking at reviews and conversations people are having about knives. And this is a long time ago, and I said, okay, a lot of recommendations for this, so we'll buy it.
The S1 is like the F1 with more sort of meat and muscle behind it.
Yeah, sounds right.
Honeybee says, just as whiskey. Now I think it's time for a nice mellow glass of red breast. Mellow and delicious.
Here's what it is: when the zombie apocalypse happens, what kind of knife do you want, in your hand? It's got to be pretty good for like throat slashing and eyeball gouging and.
That would be a pretty good like survival knife, sure. Absolutely. Christy says we need to keep the credit cards in the wallets, which is easy for me because
What?
did I leave my wallet upstairs?
Christy, what? What?
Yeah, I left my wallet
Who's had you?
upstairs. So
Who's had you on, Christy? Jesus.
oh, okay. Alain, Mora has new beach handle knives, which are way more expensive than the Garberg. I know they're beautiful. I was like, I want this one and that one and that one, and then I saw the prices and was like, I feel like I said that in a really bitchy show, and then I saw the prices. But I saw the prices and I'm like, what the hell, guys? No freaking way. For a beach handle? No. But they're so freaking pretty. I mean, they are really, really nice. When I saw them appear, I was like, oh, I got the fizz. Don't take out the wallet just because of the fizz. But yeah, they do. Steve wants us to spend money on those, which we shouldn't do. Jim says, speaking of sheath, Britt from Mrs. Freak of Nature is sending me one she made. I'm pretty excited. Interesting, a sheath for the yes. Oh, I like this comment by Alain. I like this one. It reminds me of the Cold Steel SKR. It's funny how often you'll look at it and I think that sort of reminds me in a roundabout way of X, because these guys don't live in a vacuum, right? Knife designers know what other knife designers are doing. In fact, some knife designers know the other knife designers. And I feel that like with Cold Steel, to me, Cold Steel is always going to be a super affordable brand, right? They do the affordable Canadian belt knife. They do the affordable X. They do the affordable Z. I would have
To,
names
to,
except like,
tell me Cold Steel doesn't just stamp all their knives. They're
I
just
think they
stamps,
make
right?
their own stuff. You think that they're just stamping knives
No.
made by a third party? Oh,
Uh,
I see what you're saying. Yes. Okay. Look, you got to give me a little leeway because I've had some booze. Maybe, but like that Canadian belt knife clone is. I guess you have to look at them through the lens of, for the amount that I'm spending, what am I expecting, right? Because for the price, holy crap, what a great deal. But
hmm.
if you're gonna put them up against like the actual Groman Canadian belt knife or blah 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 blah, maybe they won't hold up as well.
Yeah.
Which reminds me, I have a Cold Steel Canadian belt knife in a box that I was gonna do for like, I'm looking for a giveaway. Oops. So I got to figure out when I'm gonna
What?
do a giveaway.
Why are you doing a giveaway?
Because okay, when I bought this thing, people were still doing giveaways for like, oh, I've reached 5,000 subscribers, I'm doing a giveaway. I've reached 10,000, I'm doing a giveaway, and no one's doing that anymore. So I've got this knife in a box sitting there, and like, you want to do something with me.
There's a reason nobody does giveaways.
I know, but I get this warm and fuzzy feeling when I give something to someone who is a channel sub or a.
All right. Okay. That's fine.
I'm having trouble keeping the words going here. I got a bunch of stuff that I was planning on using as a giveaway for when I hit 5,000, but yeah, no one's doing giveaways anymore. So I don't know. For God's sakes, Holmes. I feel like I'm Beyonce, who's like doesn't want that picture online, and so everyone like,
I'm
boop, what,
I'm
this picture?
so sorry. I'll fix that, fella.
Steve
Don't
Meto
worry.
is asking what I'm drinking. Steve Meto, c'est ça, c'est de Ardnamurkin AD 0121.10. Such a stupid name for such a good whiskey.
Spanish is such a beautiful language.
Yeah, Ale, I knew you were talking about this. Okay, yeah. In fact, I hadn't noticed that you'd messed it up. Hey, holy snap, Raptor Ranch. Showing up after we were supposed to be off. How's it going? How's it going, Raptor Ranch?
Here we go.
Steve Minto is asking what everyone drinking is. Raptor Ranch is having the Guinness. Nice choice. Okay. And Grace is saying hi to Graf. Grace, you're still here. We're late. Stop. It's painful.
I'm
You're
sorry,
still
you didn't
here.
want to see yourself anymore. I thought I'd show Anna.
Oh, it's a sheath for a Mora companion. Good classic knife. Do you have a Mora companion, Russell?
I have a Mora that's rusted all the crap.
Is it a companion? I feel like everyone's got a Mora companion, even if they don't even know
No,
it.
no,
No? Oh, you
maybe.
don't? What's your Mora?
Probably. It's over there.
I I would love a Mora #1. I know saying I would love a Mora #1 is like saying, geez, I would really like to buy a chocolate bar one day. Like they're not unaffordable, but I would like a
It's
Mora
worse than
number.
that. Yeah, I'd like to buy the crappiest chocolate bar on the shelf, please. Thank you very much.
The reason I want the #1 is because it's got like that stupid painted beach handle, but there's like a real old school thing happening with that knife, and that's why I want that one. I don't even know if I would use it. I would just like put it. You know what I would use it? Here's when I would use it. Wait, before you walk away, let me show. Before you walk away, he's walked away. It's okay.
I'm still here. I'm still here.
Okay, it's when I do this. Hi, welcome to my live stream. We're going to talk about beer. We're going to talk about blades. See what I'm doing right now? Blades. The #1, blades. Just to show a little old school magic. Oh yeah, that's a companion. That's a companion OD. Yeah. I got that
Look at
exact
it.
knife. Oh, that's rusted like the hell.
It's not actually rust. It's stained.
Patina.
Which I can't stand. This is my worst knife.
For the price, it's your best knife. For the price, I'm so glad to know that I'm absolutely certain that your dogs were not in that part of that. Everybody say bless you, Russell.
Excuse me.
When you're back, Steve Meto is asking what you're drinking. He's drinking Miller High
Sorry.
Life.
Sorry, I'm allergic to your bullshit. Just
Pam says no one wants a rusty companion. But as someone who happens to be a rusty companion, I take that personally. Alain Belso does not own a Mora companion? What the hell? You need to have one, not as a terrific knife or your main knife, but you need to have one in the collection because it's a baseline knife. Everyone's got a Mora companion. I have a companion. I don't know where my companion is, but I also have the robust. The thing about Moras that are not the Garberg or these beautiful but overpriced new beach handled knives is you judge things like the robust or the companion against what they cost. And if you judge them against what they cost, like they're almost disposable, they're an amazing deal. Excuse me. And everyone should have a companion OD in their collection or their toolbox. Are you kidding me, Raptor? You made chocolate ice cream with Guinness? Great ice cream? Holy crap! Pam says that Russell is allergic to the rusted companion. Maybe so. Pam picked up the companion for almost nothing at the farm co-op. Absolutely. You can find them for very small prices. Even at full price, they're very affordable. Less so in Canada than in the United States, though. I mean, here we pay more for the fact that we're a tenth of the population size of the United States. Like to the point where you can buy Kamik boots in Manhattan for way less than you can buy them in Canada, even though they're made up here. That's all I'm going to say about that. Oh, okay. At least LA's got 4 Moras, no companions. So what do you got? What do you got? Do you have the robust? Oh, you've got the what's it? The Mora 2000, or do you have no the other one with that weird sort of blade shape? What's it called? Cans bowl? You've got a cans bowl. I seem to remember you having a cans bowl. Sound off, Alain. We have got to get Alain on screen for one of these knife discussions because he's got a cool freaking collection. And like part of it I kind of want. But yeah, so
I sneezed the
Steve
whole
Mitchell.
time I was off screen.
Yeah, are you okay? Now you're drinking
Yeah,
Old
yeah.
Milwaukee. Man, you started with like this great beer and now you're sort of dragging the bottom of the
Well,
barrel.
yeah, but I'm setting an example. Drink the good beer while you'll remember it, and
It's the
then
same for whiskey, by the way.
later in the night, drink the shit beer because
Yeah.
whatever.
Hold on. Yeah. I'm gonna see a man about a hearse. I'll be right back.
Really, you're leaving? uh,
I'll be gone very briefly.
so how y'all doing tonight? There's what's his face? Yeah, yeah. There's Pam. I wonder how many different beers are in the fridge? For me, there was a bunch earlier tonight. See, I was in the city, so it's weird out here in the boonies. Like the beer stores and liquor stores are not open on Mondays. I mean, forget that it's a Good Friday, Good Monday kind of dealy. Like City Girl was off on the. Oh wait, is today Tuesday? Holy crap! They would have been open today. Never mind me. Anyway, the beer stores and the liquor stores in the city have so much more variety. Although, do you think I could find a 24 pack of Waterloo Dark? There's Bettina. Damn. Hey, I just got in. We're 42 minutes past the usual stop of this live stream, but yeah, cheers. How's Eric? Bettina? Fresh air might have been a good idea, actually. Um, I don't know. What does Jess talk about in his live streams? Next time we're far enough north, I'll be looking for some Waterloo beers. I think you have to come to Ontario for those. The Waterloo, I don't know. I I don't think they're like magical or anything. I don't think they're like Michelin 3 stars or anything. But I would definitely look for the Waterloo Dark. Grab a 6 pack kind of thing. And then the Waterloo Seasonal, if you can find them, are worth checking out. Although the current Waterloo Seasonal is not nearly as good as previous Waterloo Seasonal.
Oh, that's disappointing to hear. Speaking
Yeah.
of disappointing, you know,
You gonna talk about your life again? I'm sorry. Hi, I'm Hans Mole Man. Hans Mole Man in the city. This is chapter 4 on why my life is so painful. Today
that
I
still
woke
kind
up
of.
and
I
my house
have
had burned
this.
down.
I have this saying that I say. Evidently, it's a saying that, look, if I died tomorrow, at least I would die knowing I was a desperately unhappy individual. What I was going to say was, oh bloody hell, I've forgotten it. This has gone so far off the
Well, you
rails.
get in there. You get me. You get it. If I died tomorrow, I'd be pretty fucking happy about it. But what I
No,
meant
I
to
said,
say is, oh, I guess nothing. I guess that's it.
no, what I was gonna say. I don't bloody. Oh my god, is Bettina? Bettina's here. Bettina, I was supposed to be offline 45 minutes ago, and you're here now. That's amazing. Um, hold on a second. I don't know. I'm
You
not. I'm
have
not
to
going to go all
finish
the
the.
way back.
You have to finish that. No, I don't worry about it. You have to finish that though. That thought that if I wasn't here tomorrow, I'd be okay with it. Except that you have this going on in your life. You
I
have
have.
something.
I have utterly forgotten. I
Oh
have
my
utterly
god,
forgotten.
this is terrible.
Maybe it's best if I just don't wake up tomorrow. Oh, that's terrible. I don't. It's gone. It's completely gone. I had this brilliant idea on my way down the
All right.
stairs.
Wait, you weren't
Yeah,
even listening.
Waterloo Beers. Oh, you got the Bushcraft Black. Okay, the craft. Oh man, you got some. You got a cool collection of sort of more classic
All
Morris.
right, I'm passing the comments on to you unless you want to look at
Stop.
Anna de Aramis. She's pretty, She's pretty.
Oof. Yeah.
You can't be like blamed for. Do you
Stop.
like do you like her with bangs or without bangs?
I don't care about bangs or not bangs. I'm not you. Eh. Um. She says, "Then we were out getting water and showering since we ourselves." Oh, you okay? So, Bettina, did you have a problem with the ice storm like we did? Russell, stop! It's so painful.
Oh, sorry, I didn't realize that was on screen. I was,
Yeah, Steve Ground says best live stream ever. Now that we're totally off the rails, right? Um, yeah, I love it. Bettina says, "Figure why change things now? May as well show up late as usual." I love it. Um, Excuse me says Justice truism, but I don't know what my truism is at this point. After like 6 whiskeys, it's a good thing I'm working from home tomorrow. Um, Ellen, is that your wife, Russell? No, that's just.
no, my wife's way prettier than that.
I think I'm just thinking about like how Alain bought that Dutch bushcraft knife, and how I wanted it so bad. And it's amazing how it's just metal and wood or plastic. Like, have you ever wondered about what? I don't know how to put this, but it's something I've thought about a lot about bases, right? Like I've got over there a $1,250 base, my Fender American standard, very pedestrian base, and then I got my Sadowski, which was one of the biggest purchases of my life. I've already talked to you guys about it. I'm not going to bore you too much, but it's a $5,000 base. And is the $5,000 base that does it look and feel that much better than the $1,250 base? And I think about this a lot in terms of knives and axes as well.
Yeah.
Like, is the DBK knife that much better than my F1? Now, my F1 is expensive, but I bought it secondhand because I don't have expensive kind of money. Because if I did, I
Mm-hmm.
would have some really cool shit. Um, but like, there are two levels to what's happening in a price, right? There's like, dude, that's O1 tool steel and whatever birch, and then there's, dude, that's materials which are whatever, and then there's the skill of the person who makes it. You know what I'm saying?
Yep.
And like Russell in our Gromans, we're kind of in between, right? Because they're
Yeah.
yeah, in some ways they're pretty pedestrian, right? They're made in a factory, small factory,
Yep.
cool design, but they're affordable because they're not made to the same standards as like a Jack Lore. You know what I'm
It's
saying?
it's they're yeah, not handmade by a Japanese guy in a forge and folded 7 times and
Dream
yeah,
knife,
exactly.
right? Dream knife. Yeah. And so I think often about what's a knife actually worth? Because people are always asking, like on the bass player forums, maybe Memo is a Sadowski worth $5,000, or is a Lakeland worth $5,000, or is, on in bushcraft is a jacklore worth what they cost, thing. And I almost think that the worth it question is not the right question, because by definition, no, of course they're not freaking worth it. We don't buy these for the worth it element. We buy these for getting the fizz. I have a jacklore. I don't have a
Oh,
jacklore, but one day I
there's
would love to have a
okay.
jacklore.
It's the there's the fizz, and then there's the worth it, right?
Yeah, and they're not the same question,
And they're
right? Or are they?
it
To me,
they're
they're
not the same
not.
question, but there's a balance there. Obviously, there's a balance there. The if the fizz is way up here, but you're never going to use it because the quality sucks, right? They're
Mm, yes, because for some people, the fizz happens purely on the design element and not on the usability.
exactly.
And I never thought about that, because to me, the fizz includes the usability,
I guess
right?
it's the fizz versus the value is what it
Mm-hmm.
is.
And that's a fair point, because what gives me the fizz has more and more as I get to be an old funker. I was about to say a different word. It has
You can
more
say
and more to
fucker.
do with, yeah,
This is my
we're after
channel
8 seconds in, right? Just get off my lawn.
Hey,
I
look at me. This is my channel now.
like what gives me the fizz has old school workmanship attributed to it, whereas to some people it's not. To me the fizz is, I'm trying to sort of generalize it, although I shouldn't have to, because everyone knows this is a bushcraft channel. But just in terms of holy crap, do like we sort of
Sorry. I don't know
you're
where that
you're a
came from.
cruel human being. Um, think of it this way: the Aston Martin DB6, even up to the DB9, gives me the fizz. I can't afford that, but no, that's not the right example. I'm trying to come up with an example after 6 whiskeys, and it's very hard to.
What gives me the fizz is the Trans Am used in the Smoking the Bandit.
Because of the car, because of the pop culture context, though.
Oh, the car. No, just the car.
So it's the
I
car.
mean,
It's not about the
back
movie.
then, back then. Oh no, of course it was about the movie. Okay,
But you know what I'm asking about, right?
let me stand aside and let you finish your comment because I don't think I understand what you're talking about.
No, because what you're saying is actually more interesting to me. Suddenly, everyone gets Canadian. No, you speak. No, no, it's okay. You speak. Um,
I'm sorry.
because I kind of think that we're sort of coming from oblique angles at the same general point, right? Because to you, it's the Trans Am and Smoking the Bandit. Is it that Trans Am because you love the Trans Am, or is it that Trans Am because of that one in Smoking the Bandit?
Yes.
Fair enough. For me, I have always loved the Aston Martin, the DB6, the DB9. But as they've become like absolute supercars to the point where you're like, here's 1.2 million for a car, I realize I'm never going to get one, right? But James Bond aside, the old school, and
Good night,
the
Pam.
Jag. Oh, is Pam out? All right, good night, Pam. Rats.
Rats. We were just gonna start talking about Pam
Yeah.
and
Um,
software engineering. Yeah.
I think I've mentioned to you
Okay.
and several people. Did I mention to you? I mentioned to someone
Probably.
that where my dad lives in Penticton, there's a car show like every weekend, right? And there's a guy there who is there with an old Aston Martin DB6 in this really piss poor but original 60s sort of baby blue color. And my dad
Mhm.
asked him once, like, so how does it run? And the guy says, in town, it runs like an old freaking 60s era car. But when you get it onto the highway, it just sings. And there's a design. Oh, how do I say this without sounding stupid because of all the booze?
Yeah.
There's a design philosophy from an era before cars were designed in wind tunnels that spoke of things that one does not feel today, right? There is a magic to the character of the design rather than how well it deals with whatever gas mileage. And I feel the same way about tools of the same era. Like I have a 1967, 68 Walters axe back there. I'm like pointing like you guys can see this on screen. What I should say is boom. That looks really stupid, right? The handle or the haft, depending on where you live in the world, is real thin and real springy, but it's real solid. Like it's not going to snap on me. And nobody does that anymore. And I mean, like big ticket axe makers don't do that anymore. You know, I
Can
feel like I'm sort of waxing poetic, and I've lost the thread of what we're talking about. Oh, right. See you later, Alain. Alain, we have to get you on stage one night. Absolutely. I'm trying to say that I love workmanship more than I love. I missed something there.
no,
Oh,
just finish your thought. We'll get back to
I love workmanship.
that. Yep.
I love workmanship. And it feels that like as we march into the 21st century, the whole idea of workmanship as in a person building,
I'm I'm
it's
gonna talk
sort of
about that soon. I hate you know, and it's not a new topic. I mean, we we buy a product that'll last a year, or
yeah.
we could spend 5 times the money and buy a product that'll last 10 years. Like
Perfect
this
example
is
of that.
this is society, right? This is society here.
Yeah, and perfect example of that is my wife and I used to buy like the Canadian Tire, like the Shark brand. Oh my god, I bottled this down this night. My
Nice.
wife and I used to
You
buy
want
the Shark vacuum,
you want to
right?
get rid of that bottle anyway.
Yeah, I needed to get rid of it because it was delicious. Um, we would buy the Shark vacuum every year. You okay?
Sorry.
It's okay. I can buy another bottle. Actually, I can't buy another
No,
bottle of this because it was a batch.
it was
So you
funny how
guys
you
have
said
just
that.
witnessed, witnessed.
It's
I was
funny how
about
you
to say
said that. You're
witnessed,
like, yeah, I bottled this down because it's delicious.
witnessed the bottle down of a bottle I can never buy again.
Or-
That's how much I care for you guys.
Yeah.
Um, like we used to buy the Shark vacuum from Canadian Tire or whatever it was Zellers every year. So how many years do you buy that before you've actually technically bought a really expensive vacuum, but you don't have the expensive vacuum?
Yep.
I see that in terms of everything, and I don't think it's because I'm old, because I'm 50, though I don't look it. I don't think it's because I'm old that I see a value in workmanship. Do you know what I'm saying? Like I don't think it's because I'm old that I want the hand forged axe rather than the machine, cookie cuttered axe or knife or whatever
Stamped.
stamped. Like, and I'm not sure if I'm making absolute sense because I'm also a technologist. So believe me, I want to replace this as soon as I can. And I would love a freaking drone like you would not believe. I see myself as a technologist, but that's because of where I work, right? So I'm very digital. And the way I deal with digital is I like to work with wood and axes when I'm not being digital, right? It sort of balances everything off. And the part of me who likes to work with axes and wood and lighting fires and being in the forest and lighting fires and being at Russell's place and lighting fires and burning down his cabin. I'm just checking to see if he's listening. Okay. Um, like I sort of have a, I don't want to say schizophrenic approach because that's a terrible thing to say, but a dual-sided approach to life in that way. In that, I love the iPhone and this computer that I bought, and all that that brings. But when I need to step back and I need to calm down and I need to relax, it's not a digital thing. It's a solid physical thing. It's an axe. It's wood. It's. What are you drinking?
Nothing. I stopped drinking a while ago.
I don't believe you. Okay, let me put that differently. What is the label of the can that you just opened? Okay, it's an old Milwaukee.
It's just water.
This was a very energetic pour for my bottle kill.
Okay, all right. I'm just catching up, you son of a doorknob.
I feel that I need to put that on a business card. Son of a doorknob.
So many fun things we could do on business cards that we never did. We should have.
I had a professor who, and I would love to be a professor, to be straight with you. Um, I had a professor whose business card read like communications teacher, whatever, blah blah blah. But like at the end, it was like Jedi Master, and I thought, man, that's ballsy. That's an academic Christmas card. Business card. What?
Well, and you know what? People love that stuff. Like,
Absolutely.
like Don Cherry for years on, talking about hockey in Canada. And like advertisers are like, here, you need to say this. You need to say what's on this card. And you grab the card. They're supposed to read and like this advertiser, these guys, forget it and throw it away. And people, the general audience,
People
would
love
like
that. Yep.
laughing their asses off. But what would they remember? The advertiser that he threw away, right?
Yeah, actually, that's not a bad point. That's not a bad point. I was about to say something and I forgot. It's
There
it's
you go.
embarrassing to forget like right when you're about to say something.
That happens to me. I was about to say something.
Okay, but do you know what I'm
No,
saying?
all
Like
the time.
all the time, like every single time.
Well, most of every single time.
I would like to point out that even though this is made in Scotland, this entire packaging is French. That's all I'm going to say about that because I spoke about it in my latest whiskey video. What I was going to say is it's gone. It's absolutely gone. But it had something to do with the dichotomy between being someone who is very digital, as we tend to be. You have to be in order to be a YouTuber, and someone
Mm-hmm.
who loves old school manufacturing, old school, like 50s to 1800s level axe manufacturing, when a good quality axe was just an axe. Do you know what I'm saying? When like you didn't have to say this is a good quality axe, you just said this is an axe, and the good quality part was the silent bit. And I feel that I'm about to get really boring,
It's,
actually, because I'm about to
I'm gonna,
go off on this, and I'm just going to stop.
I should cut you off. I should cut you off and say, it was not always good, right? Axe makers, several hundred years ago, made axes out of whatever metal came across them. Now here's a billet of steel. Okay, I guess I'll make axes out of it. Where nowadays you can get an axe maker who will know what the metal is and what it's going to do for you, how hard it is, how many, how often you need to sharpen it. It also, on the other hand, gives way to companies that will take advantage of, cheap steel, cheap iron.
What I wanted to say is, I think you're absolutely right. What I wanted to sort of say I don't know if I'm coming at it from a different point of view or a tertiary angle, or just because I'm drunk, but today, guys, like I'm gonna mention a few names, like Autin and Liam Hoffman. These guys are making quality axes with the aim of making quality axes. I need to drink something other than whiskey. Whereas
Cheers.
in the 50s, because starting around the 70s, I'm thinking, when the Norland axe came into its own, it was a Canadian Tire axe, right? In fact, I believe Canadian Tire contracted the Norland company or the council to, or whoever it was, to create Norland. But at one point, making an axe, and I'm thinking like up until the 50s, late 60s, this was the thing. Making a quality axe was just making an axe. I find that after that, it became making a quality axe was making a quality axe. And there's a difference in the way that you make and market such a thing, right? Like Liam Hoffman rightfully takes pride in the fact that he makes high quality axes. Okay. Up until the late 60s, early 70s, I'd say late 60s, making an axe was by default a high quality axe in many, many places in the United States and Canada.
Mm.
And so, like, I have so lost where I'm going with this that, like, I cannot. I've been trying to sort of bring myself back to the point, and I cannot find it anywhere.
Look,
But
I found this shit Mora knife.
the thing is, the magic of the Mora.
I threw it down again.
Stop throwing knives around because you've been drinking.
Nope.
You got to look at the screen now, Russell, because I'm holding up a good quality Mora. Hold on, I'm gonna do that again. Oh,
I don't think there is a good quality Mora.
are you kidding me? I would put this Mora up against.
That was right across the floor.
I don't know what I would put this Mora up against, but it's a damn good knife. Like, this is the Mora that I had been waiting for. Because, okay, here's the thing. And here's the thing that I should have started speaking about, like, at 9.
Yes.
I should do a whole episode on this. When I started buying Noras, shut up. I was more adverse for a long time because people were saying, like, the thing about Moras is if you break it, you just throw it away and buy a new knife. I hate. Wait, let me drink tea. I hate
tea.
I love tea, but I hate disposable culture. Do you know what I'm saying? And so to me, I had avoided knives. I had avoided Moras for a really long time because, like, I don't want something I can throw away. I want something that's going to work. And one day I finally decided, like, I've got to figure out what. It's hard to do this when I'm this many sheets to the wind because I'm way more than 3 sheets to the wind. Okay.
Yeah. Yeah. It's fair.
I bought my first Nora. Cheers. When you say cheers, you have to drink.
Nice.
I bought my first.
Wait, sorry. Bettina says, going to share with Scotch.
A Glenfiddich. How many years? Is that a 12 or a 15? It's probably going to be a 12.
Or is it green, blue, or purple, or black?
I see you know your Glenfiddichs. And I want to say that Glenfiddich, for me, if I used to be like a snob about because I was like, oh, it's a 12 inch. It
used to be
12 inch. It's a
Sure.
12-year and it's a 40%. Blah blah
It
blah.
used to
So,
be
so
like yesterday.
but I really need
Anyway,
to stop drinking alcohol. This live stream is turning into an epic hellmouth. But what I want to say,
anyway, what you want to say is continue your thought for Glenfiddich.
no,
Go.
I was talking about something else.
No, you're talking about Glenfiddich. If it's a 12-year, if it's a 15
Oh yeah,
year, if it's
I what I did was I did this thing one day where I did a blind tasting, and I sort of mixed them up. What you do for a blind tasting for yourself is you put a colored dot on the bottle and you put a colored dot on the bottom of the glass and you mix them up. And you
yep,
boop
yep,
boop boop boop
yep,
boop
yep,
boop
boop, boop,
like
boop,
this. It's
yep,
like
boop,
this.
boop, 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 boop,
Boop.
boop, 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 boop,
And when you
boop.
don't judge with your eyes, like you don't look at the ABV, you don't look at the blah blah blah, you don't look at the blah blah blue. The Glenfiddich 12 or 15 or whatever are actually pretty damn good. Like when you're not coming at it through like I don't like anything that's under 45%.
Yep.
The flavors are very very good. I'm drinking tea now because wow. And before I got distracted with that, what I was going to say, it had something to do with I was talking about tools being just like made at a time when just making a tool was making a good quality tool, but I don't bloody remember what I was trying to say.
Oh, you finished what you're saying with that.
Did I finish? I
Yeah,
wasn't
music.
finished.
No, I'm pretty sure you were.
I will go with that just to be on the just to sort of
I was trying the eyebrow thing. I don't know if I accomplished it.
like this.
I no, I can't do the rock eyebrow, but I can do the like Spock. No, I can't do the Spock thing. I can do the guy who plays Spock in the most recent movies eyebrow because I don't think he did it very well. Anyway,
Here's the thing.
I have no idea what that means.
Did you recognize the accent I was doing? No, I didn't recognize it at all. I'm going on a limb. I'm going out on a limb. Oh my land! I have drunk so much whiskey tonight.
Oh, look.
Fair enough. Bettina, are you pouring the 12 or the 15 or something else? What I wanted to say about that is that when I drank it blind, the flavors of the Glenfiddich 12 are beautiful. Yes, it's a 40%, and if you like a 45 or more, like I do, that is a bit of a letdown. But the flavors themselves are pretty damn good.
I, I remember like
Damn good.
the 12. I bought the 12 a couple of times recently. The 12 was nice.
Yeah, it's a good drinker. I would
It's
like have a Glenfiddich, Glenfiddich, Glenfiddich,
fish.
Glen.
I
I would
gotta.
have a Glenfiddich.
You, Finnick, step aside.
What I
I'm gonna
wanted to
Finnick
say
you.
is I would have a
Ah,
Glenfiddich
we're
12.
gonna Finnick. You and me, we're gonna Finnick.
Oh my god, we're a couple of drunken
We're like,
assholes.
do I drop my pants or just,
No,
we're
no,
gonna
keep your
fight?
pants on. It's fine. What I
Are we
meant
gonna
to
fight?
say is anyone still watching us? Oh my god, 14 people are still hanging out with for this crap. What I want
Oh
to say
no,
is that
look, Christy's like making a drink.
oh, Christy's making a drink.
Christy, what time zone are you in already?
Christy, what drink are you
Damn,
making? Oh my snap! It's
damn.
drunk o'clock. What are you making? I
I
hope
hope it's
it's
a
not like
cocktail. I hope it's the new blackberry raspberry blackberry raspberry shocker cocktail.
Yes, I made that. I didn't make that. I'm lying like a
There's no way
rug.
you made that.
What am I saying? I hope she's making. I hope she's making
Shocker.
rock shots.
Oh, yeah. So Bettina missed the new special feature on Friday.
But I don't have any special features, so yay! I'm having the. Why
Ah,
did you hide that? I'm trying.
sorry,
Ach,
sorry.
sorry.
I know
Ach,
you need a script to work from.
over Christ's sakes, will you shut up for a second? I want to
You're
say,
like,
I am having a wee
I just
drama.
need 4 words on the screen so I can read them.
I just
Because
want
if
to
I
read
don't
the
have my
fucking great. I said fuck on my own live stream.
Okay, say it.
Ach, I'm having a wee drama gun fidich. Would that be the 12 or the 15, dearie?
Oh, nice, nice.
I would like to know. You know, I had a Scottish extraction grandmother, and that has affected the way I spell, like you would not believe.
My golly.
I had to, but I'm in Arizona, you know this, and I'm making a little scotch. Well, here's the thing: this scotch is bottled down. There's nothing left in it.
you, Chrissy, tell me you're not doing blood work tomorrow.
I thought you were about to say, "Tell me you're not doing blow tomorrow." I'm like, well, that's a little less than I was. Well,
Christy, you doing blow tomorrow?
Christy's doing blow tomorrow.
Like, yep, 3 lines lined up.
Are they parallel or perpendicular? I don't even know what that means.
That's
This
like a scripted. That's like a scripted movie. Like, I'm gonna do some cocaine. What is this? Oh, it's the path to Mario's house. Shit, I love it.
this live stream is so off.
Damn it! Did I make it to Mario's house? No. You missed. Anyway,
At one point, there was still a hope that this live stream would stay on track. This hope is but a memory.
nobody shared that hope. Nobody.
Nobody did. That's the problem, isn't it? Nobody did. Nobody shared the
Oh,
hope. Nobody
Bettina.
felt the
Oh,
hope.
wait. Bettina had a shower though. That's cool. So, hey, are you clean now, or
Ach, hey, the new. I don't know what that says. I the new asked. My ex-father used to say, "Did you used to have a father and he's gone? Is an ex-father a dead father or a live father who doesn't care?" It's really kind of
fun? So,
fair
are
enough.
you going somewhere else with
I
that?
was going somewhere else,
You
but
were
no,
like, we're gonna get personal and emotional right now.
not personal and emotional.
We're
I'm
gonna
Gen X. We don't do
going
emotional.
to
We're dead inside.
we're going to dig deep down into Jess's psyche,
Gen X. We don't do emotion
his
because we're dead
fears
inside.
and shit.
Gen X. We don't do emotion because we're dead inside.
And you're not dead. You're not
Gen X. I'm dead
dead.
inside. This is the worst part of the entire live stream. And there are 14 people still watching this.
All right, I'll be
You
back.
guys are heroes. No, you can't be back. I need you in order to be. Oh, he gone. He gone. And I feel that he's getting me back for twice tonight, by which I mean twice tonight. I said, hey, be hilarious while I'm going away. Let's just see what people are saying in the excuse me, side chat. Hey, I got a question for you, those of you who watch. I'm going to start again. It's weird because I came on tonight thinking that I was not going to drink. Let me try that again. It's weird because I came on tonight thinking that I was not going to finish a bottle of whiskey and a bottle of and a can of beer and everything. But there are 14 people still watching. 50, holy schnizzlap. There are 15 people still watching tonight. But not all of you show up in the side chat. And I'm interested in those of you who don't show up in the side chat. And like, why don't you? Like, part of the magic is the conversation that happens between the people in the side chat. At every live stream, there are more of you who watch than people who chit chat in the side chat. And I'm not saying, don't come by if you're not going to chat in the side chat. I'm just like, I'm interested in like, what do you guys get from this? Versus what do those people who are like chitting and chatting to one another's get? Just going to see if someone has said anything in the side chat. Oh my God. Bettina H is dying. Oh my. Don't die, Bettina. We need you for next week. Just show up 5 minutes before the end of this show. Hey, look who's here. It's Russell.
Hey, yeah, and the thing, and the.
And the thing.
Don't forget that.
What just happened?
Yeah,
There's a
exactly.
picture of you. I'm not around. There's a picture of me being stupid. And Kristen is saying you didn't even get cheese. Oh, that's
I'm
the
going
Crown
for
Royal.
the. This is the cold one that I had in the fridge. I showed you an earlier warm one. So I should
So that's a
probably
Crown
put
Royal
this.
and Coke, right?
Yeah, you know what? This doesn't go in the beer glass. I'm gonna. Okay.
He finally shows up and then he disappears. He finally shows up and then he disappears. It is perfectly insulting to me, who is trying to keep the live stream going, but he has disappeared. Oh. He's making silly sounds.
Listen,
He's got a Rush t-shirt on because he loves Rush.
if you screw up your words and you go back to the womb, I can go back to the fridge for a gel mug.
I haven't gone
gel.
back all the way to the room. You got to show what you're gel mugging or before you gel mug it. You got to show the can before
it's
you
cooler. I did show the can.
show it again. Show it before as you slip it in. I'm trying to help you. Ooh, look!
Okay,
Crown
all right,
Royal
all right.
whiskey and cola. Okay, slip.
This is.
Boop.
Oh
Down it goes. I'm trying to help you
God.
market this.
It's like,
Boop.
oh my God, you
Oh my
gotta show the
snap.
thing.
Oh my God.
Just lick it first
You're
for a
so
while.
ghetto. Wait.
If you
What?
just lick it first for a while, and then you shove it in the receptacle.
This isn't where I thought we were going, but okay.
I thought that's where we're going.
No.
It's a little tight. Okay, a little bit of shove got it in there. Oh yeah, it's gonna taste. Wow! That tastes like Crown Royal and something.
I'm trying to catch up with the side chat, but I don't even know what to show.
Oh wow, that's Crown Royal and cola.
That's Crown Royal and cola. Thing is, Crown Royal is Canadian whiskey. So, Bettina says I'm dying. I hope you don't die, but I don't want
I
you
hope
to
you have a defibrillator goes by.
defibrillator.
Can Eric do mouth to mouth? It's always funny when somebody says I'm dying because they type that somehow. Like they're dying, but they managed to type it on the keyboard or on a.
They're talking about laughing. They're talking about laughing. They're dying from the laughter. Because apparently you and I are actually kind of funny, which is weird.
50% of us are really funny.
50%? All right, I'll give you that. Hold on a second.
But it actually has a defibrillator. You know what? You can have a lot of fun with that, actually.
I need a defibrillator like you wouldn't believe.
Yeah, me too.
What?
If we could have like Jim is still driving, and you won't be home
Jim,
for another 40 minutes, Jim. Oh my God, Jim.
how far are you going, Jim?
How the hell do you end up? So Jim like technically arrives generally at right at the end of Books Fest, like right when I'm playing Rum in the Rocks.
But do you
Like
finish at 11 or at okay, I'm going to start the end.
uh, start in the
Start one
womb.
more time.
Start in
Okay,
the
in
womb.
the womb. Okay, I'm flowering. Did you
Flowering? Oh my God! What? Ugh, that's
can
disgusting. I
everything's
don't.
disgusting.
I, I
Everything
don't
is.
ever want to know about you flowering,
The world is
whether it's in
disgusting.
the womb or like at a baseball park or whatever.
Baseball parks are disgusting.
Yeah,
Can I say what I was going to say?
sure. Yeah. Yeah.
I do not remember what I was going to say.
Something
What I
about
meant to
Jim.
say, okay, I'm watching because I'm still driving. I won't be home north for another 40 minutes. And that had nothing to do with what I was going to say. But I was going to say, I am so lost in what I was
Live
about to say.
streamed. Live
Yeah.
streamed.
And it's live streaming, so I gotta sort of have something to say. Hey, I would like to say the following, he said, not knowing what he was gonna say. Um Man, I've missed you guys. Thank you, Bethany. We've missed you too as well.
Well, how many shots did you take? Like,
We're not talking shots, dude. We're talking driznams. Okay, I've
no,
taken
no, no.
6 of
Like, if
these.
she's shooting at us, like, she's missed us every shot so far.
She's a stormtrooper.
She's a stalker. But he comes blasting into our cabin. Like, bah, 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 shoots up 99% of the cabin. Like, fuck, Bettina, I'm right here.
Yeah, absolutely.
Like, oh, damn. Damn.
Damn.
Damn, Bettina, you missed every shot.
Stormtrooper, you. I'm gonna call it stormtrooper from now on. I would still love a lever action boom boom, by the way. Did you
Oh,
buy
so
one?
would I. I haven't. I haven't. I can't. Lever actions are like they're
Stuff.
hard to nail down. What's the term I'm looking for? They're
I think what.
elusive.
Yeah.
Elusive.
Yeah. And the what I want is not the Marlin necessarily or the Winchester. It is the
Gun that shoots a 30-06 with lever action. It doesn't
no.
exist.
I want a 30-30. It is. Oh crumbs! What's the company other than Marlin or Winchester? We shouldn't be talking about poom pooms because I say no poom pooms on my disco. Okay, so we're just gonna move on to
Oh, Bettina. Bettina, you've got a.
got you covered
I
one of
know,
these days. She says.
but that
I don't.
she's talking about the pew pews. But Bettina has a like a Kubota there with a backhoe, right? Bettina,
Wait, Bettina has
we're
a
trying to get
Kubota?
we're trying to get Mark Campbell out here with his Kubota, but Bettina's a lot closer.
I would love to have a machine like that, but I have it literally no context in which to own a
Uh,
machine like that. Do you know what I'm saying?
yeah,
Like,
you and like drones as well. You want a drone, but like
I would love a
I could
drone.
fly it in my basement, I guess.
And I cannot fly it anywhere near my town.
Shh.
I really want a drone, like you wouldn't believe. Um, I think I showed you the one I want, right?
I don't care what you want.
Funk you.
I mean, I know
See
what
how
you
I set the
need.
channel there? You know what I
I
need?
know what you. I know you need.
Now, what
Here we
you
go.
what you know that I need? That sounded
Just,
really. What you think? What
just,
you believe?
yeah.
Hmm?
I'll tell you what. If you
What?
come back here again sometime, you can have my old drone.
If I come back there again sometime, I may walk into the woods and never be seen again. Oh fuck! That sounds like. Oop.
I
I
don't
said
believe.
funk,
I don't
funk. Like
believe
I'm
it.
a bass player, right? I mean, I'm funk. Boom, da ba, da boom, da ba, da ba, da ba.
Good. What the hell? That was terrible.
That wasn't me. I wouldn't
It
have done
was.
that.
It was probably just.
I wouldn't have done that. Why are 14 people still watching us make asses of ourselves?
Well,
He
I'm not
said,
making an ass of myself, but
"Oh,
I
yeah,
mean, you go, girl.
I would love a piece of cheese right now."
All
No,
right, go get your cheese.
the thing about
Go
the
get
drone,
your cheese.
the thing about the thing about the drone is that I really want it. What I've settled on, I think I shared with you. Oh,
I, the problem with you wanting a drone is you've got nowhere to fly it.
this is an issue, but I feel that if I had a drone,
You'd still have nowhere to fly it.
yeah, it's not like buying a canoe where I just strap it onto the top of the
That's
car.
that's why I say. I mean, if you come back here, you can have my old drone because I'm not using it at all. It's got some quirks, but you want to learn how to fly a drone with
It,
something that's not terribly expensive that you can't afford to crash.
yeah. All right. So in that case, I'll be
So,
over in about 48 hours, starting now.
damn. Yeah, go.
Just kidding. I would love to get back onto that piece of land at a time when you're not sick. So I don't like,
Oh.
you
Well,
know,
I mean, you have an open invitation to come back, brother.
yeah.
So,
My entire year is being ripped away from me by various events and stuff. So I'm going to try to block off a piece of that. Oh my snap! My phone is not working. I'm just looking at my calendar. I gotta get some Russell land time again. Now, here's the thing about that land that little chunk of land that I was on. It was real pretty and everything, but I wonder if, like, on the year to year, on your piece of land, does it change a lot? Um, I want to let me ask that again. Does it change any because of the beavers? Like you had this real cool sort of like
mm,
beaver pond, shoof, beaver pond, shoof, beaver pond. Like, does the shape of your pond ever change, or is that piece of
no,
land where I had the I was gonna say tent, but it wasn't a tent. What the hell was it called?
it's a hammock. No, no. The beaver pond right here never changes.
Okay, so like if I was to go out next year or the year after, that spot is still there. Okay, good to know.
That spot is still there. Yeah, and you can continue to enjoy it, or you can go somewhere else. It's like,
It was a really nice spot though. The reason why I like that spot so much is because it was far enough away that we weren't like staring at each other, but also it had
but
like
close enough that my dogs can come out and spend all their time with you.
anyone who has watched us or you and has not met your dogs is suffering. They don't even know it, but they're suffering. Like I was like your dogs would be hanging around until I was asleep, and then I guess they'd go home at some point, and then they'd come back the next day, and I'd be like, "Hi, Willow, dogs." And the thing is, like, I miss having a dog because I used to have dogs. Well, I had a dog and then it died, and then had another dog, and then it died. Oh no, that one went to a farm somewhere. But like, I like having dogs around. You know,
Junebug
oh,
will like, oh, this is really cool.
Junebug was, has been, and will probably always be an epic chore when it comes to an epic chore when it
Oh,
comes to
oh,
trying to film something.
but look, like if I know you're a hammock nerd or enthusiast or a snub, hammock snub, but if you put up a tent, you go in your tent with a sleeping bag and lie down, and you invite Junebug in with you, you will have like such a great
Dog.
buddy, a tent buddy. Like she will just wrap your, you can just wrap your arms around her and
Yeah, she's a real suck. Bettina says just ate cheese because you guys were talking about it. Goes well with the scotch. I have drunk way too much this evening. Close enough that Jesse could go borrow a spoon from Russell. Because of the fact that I threw my spoon right into the lake and it disappeared.
oh, Jesse, I'll tell you what I can't find. The spoon you gave me, the wooden spoon, the number 34. I
Really?
have no idea where it is. It's somewhere here, but I have not found it, which is really weird because since you were here, we did the whole kitchen,
He did the
and
kitchen.
I've looked through every door on this desk.
Every door.
Like, where the fuck did that spoon go to?
That's too bad.
It,
I might
no,
have to get up
I mean, it's not too bad because it will turn up at some point.
someday. We're
Somewhere
at
out there,
like 12:36 in the a.m.
someone saying a prayer that we'll find one another in the bigs somewhere out there.
What I was gonna
I
say,
know we're very far apart we are. Okay, you can do the high notes if you want. The high pitch.
what I meant to say was two things. First, am I clicking right now? As I speak, when one speaks, one uses one's voice, and they say words, and words have meaning, and meaning has magic, and so ergo, when one speaks, one casts magic. So am I clicking?
Nope, nope, not
Good,
doing that bit.
good, because that was a load of bullcrap. What I was also gonna say was that it is like 12:38, so we're gonna go to 12:45, and then I am going the hell to bed. 15 people are still watching us, even though this is silly stuff.
If anybody wants to do a super chat, we'll go to 1 a.m.
I did not get a single super chat in this conversation, and I'm, by the way, not asking for a super chat. I'm just saying that with Al not around, he doesn't spark the super chat.
Super
Super
chat for 1 a.m.
chat. It's
Damn, I might.
surprising to me that like it's 12:38 and I go till 11, and I just sort of like, oh yeah, we're gonna go to 11:30, and then I didn't notice the transfer from 11:30 until 12:30. Like I almost feel like I should have polled people again. Should we go to 11 till 12:30? What do you think? Should we go? And like I haven't paid any attention to the side chat, so I feel vaguely guilty.
I've been watching the chat.
Oh, Bettina wants a drone as well. Okay. So Bettina, we should both get drones in the next year.
I, uh, I, I, you know, when a lot of people have asked me about drones or solar power or whatever, and I, my answer on drones is you got to do your homework. You got to look at YouTube review videos, and unfortunately, because of what we were talking about earlier, and because of what I'm talking about in a future video, most of those reviews are shit.
what I care about is as follows. Under the weight that I need a pilot's license. So is it? Is it?
250 grams.
Yeah. The follow me, whatever the hell DJ called DJ.
Follow me,
What?
point of interest.
Whatever the hell DJI calls the follow me feature. That's what I care about. That's it. Because the other stuff I can really play with and blah, 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 blah. But like when it comes down to the things that I see in my head that I want to do in my future videos,
Oh,
the
damn.
follow me is important. You okay?
Stuff is really good. It's just really good.
That's really good. Really?
I'm sorry.
Is it?
At the end of the night.
Like as a nightcap kind of thing?
Well, I've had a lot of drinks, so
Had a lot of drinks too.
damn, Christy.
So, what? Oh my snap! Are you kidding me?
Christy is like, let's go to 1 a.m.
Okay, if we go to 1 a.m., then I need you to be hilarious for a minute because I really have to see a man about a hearse.
I will
Thanks,
be so
Christy.
hilarious. I will be so hilarious. You'll be laughing in your sleep
While I'm
because
seeing a man about a hearse. Okay, I'll be right back.
you'll be laughing. Damn. Anyway, Christy has done the thing. I'll tell you what, guys. Let's do it. It's Jesse's stream, and he likes to cream on the chat. He knows where his hat is because Jesse's stream. He knows where his hat is. He's coming back to chat. Because of Jesse's dream, you gotta go for gold. When you live streaming, you gotta be the guy to finish the chord progression. And then you come back and find out people are talking in chat. And it's so weird. And he's going for cheese. This Crown Royal and Cola is pretty good, actually. Anyways, it's Jesse. He's going in the cheese. Oh, Grace. Oh my goodness. I'll tell you what. I'm gonna have to do it too. Damn. Worst live stream ever. I can't spell. I can't see and I can't spell. Jesse. No, okay, we got to do this though, of course. Look at him. Like, I don't know what that means. Does that mean 1:30? That totally means 1:30. Bettina, we're going for 1:30. I have nothing else in the fridge though. This is my last fridge item.
Well,
sorry, just
let me show you a fridge item. Jeez.
Just a whole pile of people jumped into the super chat
thing. What the fuck is going on?
And you have to go to like 2 a.m. now.
I can't go till 2 a.m. But I can go till 1.
No, look at all the donations. Have you seen this, Christy and Grace? And me? You have to. You have to. You have to keep
I'm out of
going.
lyric. I'm out of liquids. Why are you guys suddenly giving money? Not that I mind.
Apparently, I'm great at this sort of thing.
Oh, look at this. Bettina's got an English muffin, pest, and cheese. What the hell's pest?
Yeah, but here we go.
I can maybe push it till 1:30, but I can definitely go no more because I do have to work. All right, let's do
Yeah,
20.
yeah. None of us care that that you have to work.
But I care. Because I don't have a. I dropped cheese. Hold on.
Oh, please step on it before you eat it.
Absolutely. I don't have a big enough channel that I can not care if I lose my day job. Yeah, I got some real cheese. I mean, it's cheddar, but still, it's cheese. Have any of you ever like? I kind of give this opinion that I'm really serious about cheese when I really, okay, I am. But like, we live near the Oka Monastery, by which I mean I'm lying. We don't live near the Oka Monastery. It's like about 45 minutes away, where they used to make Oka cheese, but they've sort of offshored, not offshored, but like there's someone else making the Oka cheese now. But I love the idea of the old way of making anything like cheese or beer or whiskey. Like the old way of you've got a fire and you're drying the barley for the whiskey. You've got the old way of making cheese with the monks. You've got like the old way of doing the things. Like I have this fantasy of winning 30 million bucks and opening a very small, quitting my job and opening like a hobby level distillery, right? Not like a business, but like putting up a barrel of single malt and a barrel of rye, 100% rye, because hello, for 10 years. I dropped another piece of cheese. And like the thing is, the old school way is never the best way for a reason. But isn't the magic and the poetry, doesn't that lie in the old school ways of doing the things? Whatever the things may be. Like cheese, right? Cheese is not a new, it's not a new product. It really is not. Hundreds of years ago, they were making cheese. And in some places, they make the cheese the way they did 100 years ago. And I think, like, okay, two things. First of all, so good. But second of all, I want to know how they did it hundreds of years ago. I love the idea of them using these methods that are hundreds of years old and almost no one does anymore, right? That's me just being a hopeless romantic. But I have to acknowledge at this point that the thrust I was aiming for, the point I was like honing in on, is nebulous. Absolutely nebulous.
Good job.
I had like I was going somewhere absolutely brilliant, like genius. So genius you would have been like floored, silenced, floored. And yet also silenced.
Awesome.
I think I was just like, I'm enchanted by. If you were to take 400 years off today's date, I say that a lot, but it's because I think this way. If you were to take 400 years off today's date, 500 years, whatever, and show how people were making the stuff that they needed to just live, there's something really cool about that. And I'm not saying that I want to trade in like penicillin for that kind of life. But there's something really cool about the real old school way of doing things, of just making the things that they needed to survive. And like a lot of the things I like were made that way in that time, just not in factory situations, setups, settings is the word I'm looking for.
Jess, I'm fading fast.
Well, yeah, because it's almost 1 o'clock. What the hell are we still doing online?
Hmm.
And why are 18 people still watching us?
I don't know. I'm fading fast. I gotta check out, brother.
All right, so let's shut her down because it's only supposed to go till 11. But
Go.
hold on, I gotta swallow. So let's shut this drunken thing down. Between now and next month, and next week, next month. Shut up, Jesse. For the 19 of you who are still here, thank you for watching until the bitter end. What I'd like to say is, between now and then next week, when I see you again, everybody, please stay safe, stay sane, and be kind to one another.
Happy soup.